We are live on
We're live right now?
this one. Yeah, that's YouTube. All right, and hit this button here. Hey, everybody.
So can we see when people ask us questions?
Yeah, do it on your phone. We're gonna do it on our personal phones, and we're live on Facebook. I think. Finish. Oh shit. No. There we go. Okay. We're good. We're live. All right.
So where's the link?
You should have a link here. Like ASAP.
Hey everybody. Can't see my face.
Oh shit. So we're working with some weird equipment, meaning
My kids' tablets.
tablets, because the there we go. That's not too bad. Hopefully they can see me when I sit down. Yeah, we're good. All right. You guys just hold on. We're gonna go ahead and share this.
The Facebook one. Can I ask questions on the Facebook one?
So I'll keep. How about you and Thomas are over? You guys have YouTube up. You guys have Facebook up. I'll have
Okay.
YouTube up,
Got it.
or some shit like that.
I'm working on it.
I'm doing Facebook. You do YouTube. Or, I don't know. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blowing a man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know where.
Hey, watch your
We'll
head.
get together on. You know how
I thought you were just in here by yourself.
good
doing that
time
shit.
went on.
Would you be surprised?
What am I doing?
I thought he was doing a Giovanni.
Hey everybody.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yep. My phone went stupid.
Alright, let's see if I can. Turn the volume down so it doesn't confuse the shit out of me.
So essentially, folks that are watching, you just start, giving us your questions, and we're gonna go ahead and answer them by looking at them on our phones.
Kyle's watching us, guys.
So are you gonna be here?
Yeah, he went to get beer. Oh.
So we don't need our mics or anything?
No mics.
Can
We
they hear
just
us? They can
yell.
hear us.
Yeah. So for
Hey, everybody!
for everybody that's watching, tell us if you can hear us
Yeah.
talking.
Hey Kyle, you look sexy too.
How do I?
Watch on your phone, you can see. Kyle says, although your mic is on. Hold on. I can hear us, Kyle.
Alright, this is gonna be kind of trippy.
Well, don't
Just
even
turn your
worry.
volume down.
Don't even worry about what's going on up there.
Okay.
So we're
What
gonna
do I?
we're gonna interact via our phones.
Oh, that's.
VI satellite.
And you can either do it. You can look at the Facebook one, or you can look at the YouTube
How
one.
do I?
Go to Sundown After Dark if you want the Facebook one. I'm gonna look at the YouTube one.
Hey, Thomas's mom's watching.
So we're gonna do that. There we go. Live. I'm super thirsty. Hey,
So I brought water.
Live because.
Actually, might need more
Is
water.
that it?
alright. Volume's down. I don't want to hear our shit.
Well, human.
All right. So Ryan says he can hear us. So that's cool.
Was that YouTube?
Yeah, it's YouTube. Are you on? Which one are you
I'm
on?
on the Facebook.
All right. So Facebook's working and YouTube's working. I think we're good to go. And we got Donnie on his way here. I'm really
Kyle
thirsty.
says to speak up.
Is
As soon as Donnie,
Are
turn
you
that down.
watching?
I want to hear.
Dude, I don't know how this
Hey
works.
Derek, how do I feel about Rockville blowing my SA-12? Where do I even start? I think it was a stupid test. Let's leave it at that. I've done so much testing over the years in the SA-12 with so much harder abuse conditions than that.
It sounds like they were just going by power alone.
There was so much fishy on that test. I don't want to call them out because I don't know those guys.
I didn't
but
even
it was
watch
really
it.
fishy.
I didn't even watch it. I heard about it, but it sounded to me like they were
Thomas, would you want
just
to-
going off of power
Yeah,
alone,
sure.
and they could have thrown all sorts of clipping into that. We don't know.
It's not working. It's broke.
Well, Thomas, it's okay.
All right, so here's the deal.
Hey, Hunter.
Johnny's gonna come in,
So,
but you
Hunter, come on
you
in,
can sit
Hunter.
back there if you want. Oh, in the back.
Nah.
No, you could be the host of the show.
Don't hit your head, Hunter.
Yeah, you want to
No,
host the show?
no, I'll just stand here.
Okay, well we're live right now.
Oh,
Okay. Right this second.
Come on in, Hunter.
Come
Say hi to the folks.
I want you to host our show today.
If you can see yourself, Hunter, you can say hi to the
I'll
fans.
sit right here until Donnie comes in.
Yeah. So, for those that are watching and those that are wondering why we're doing a live show, well, the reason being is good old computer back there decided it still doesn't want to work. So, what's going on is like we have a guy that works for Intel, who's the same guy I got the hard drive off of.
Okay, here we go.
When Windows decided to update on my computer, it trashed my hard drive. And so I was having the hardest time uploading shit. Thankfully, all the videos and pictures and everything that we do for the show is on a separate hard drive. So I was able to take that hard drive out and go to my home computer and upload the last show that you guys saw. Unfortunately, it's still fucked up, and the hard drive's still out in California getting worked on. Once it gets here, hopefully this week, we'll be able to do a show for next week. But for now, we're doing a live show for you guys because everybody's like, hey, what's going on? And here we are.
This guy.
And that's a lot of fire.
Donnie
So anyway,
burn his-
while we're here, I don't have anything huge to talk about. I've got some questions that were asked through our Facebook Messenger, so we can get to them at some point. But while we're live, if you got questions, I want you to ask them.
Look at this thing.
Don't burn my camera above you.
All right, so Kyle, it sounds like a cell phone because we're recording on tablets.
Yes. So we don't. Again, the computer's messed up, right? So we literally have two
None
tablets.
of this works.
Two tablets mounted above the doorway. It's right there, and that's what you're viewing this
Hey, it's
on.
Dustin Wright. Hey, I haven't seen Endgame yet, but I heard that Dustin was in the movie
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
out of shape Thor. I guess I guess Dustin was. They actually just used Dustin.
Speaking of Dustin, we finally got to hang out with him.
Yeah, we did.
A few weeks ago, we were in Alabama. We were at the.
He's the less exercised Thor.
Yeah, he's a thick
Yes.
a thick dude. He's like it's like a rock when you touch him. Yeah.
That's good.
I think I did that too. I think I pushed him a bunch. We were all drinking.
Yeah, we were.
We were bar hopping.
I bought him a shot of Jägermeister, and I think that was the start of the end of Dustin's night.
Oh yeah.
Is that right, Dustin?
Is he on Facebook or is he on YouTube?
I see him on the Book of Face.
Y'all still need to try the 11th hour.
Kempter wants to know
No, Hunter.
how's the trains treating you, Thomas?
Okay, let me tell you something about trains. No one likes them. They make you late. If you gotta pee, guess what? Now you gotta wait on a train. Okay? There's a train, it goes by every 20 minutes. It's 80 miles long.
Same one, right?
It goes 4 miles an hour. So it takes the train 6 months to go by, and then by then everyone's dead. We can't get out. We can't make it to the store to get food. We die waiting on the train in our cars. And I have a new theory. About trains. I think it's part of the witness protection program. Because
Very true.
I saw one train and it was filled with wood chips and it was going that way. And then 20 minutes later I step outside and I see the same train with wood chips. And it's going the other way. They gotta do the witness protection program. They just tell them, they're like, dude, drive this train back and forth.
You forgot the best part. Tell us about the train, the engine.
The engine was like painted like an American flag. That's how you know it was the same one. It was
Right.
like red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes and everything. It was like a custom painted engine.
What's the matter?
They got some dude in the witness protection program. They'll just like just drive trains all day. They'll never find you. He's going left and he goes right, taking a bunch of wood chips to nowhere because trains are useless.
All right. And that's Thomas on the trains for this week. All right, so
Dustin said that was his 5th shot when I got him at Jaeger, and he almost got kicked out of an Uber.
Oh yeah.
your phone rings almost every episode.
This is I have to take this call from out of the country. BRB.
Sometimes Jake gets international phone calls, and he has to take them. All right, so on YouTube we've got Yellow 1000 Can-Am. He says update on the XV3 6.5. There really isn't an update. So there's so much going on right now, not just with different, we're, trying to produce different products. We've got a shit ton of things on list ready to prototype, but that kind of got thrown in the back burner when a lot of other things were going on with, say, tariffs, amplifier situations, build house delays, things like that. I know Jake's still trying to work out what to do with the Spider. He wasn't super happy with the Spider yet, so as soon as that's figured out,
What was the pressure?
the X6.5 V3. As soon as that Spider is worked out, we're gonna have it on the market. We're doing a very small run of the version 2s that a large dealer of ours has already purchased. So as soon as they're out, we're gonna go to that dealer, and you folks will be able to buy your version 2s for a little while longer until we finally get the V3 out. So that was Yellow 1000 Can-Am on YouTube. So thank you for that question.
I got a question over here.
Yeah.
David Berger says, how many more years until you sell Sundown, Jacob?
We
So-
talked about that not long ago.
Yeah.
Swerving.
Oh, come
Don't
on.
hit your head, Donnie.
Donnie, I saved you a seat.
Donnie, say hi.
Keeping it warm
Hey.
for you.
So I'm going to tell David, I'm not sure yet. It's just kind of when I run out of good ideas, I guess.
Back there if you want.
No, I'm good. Come on. Head out.
I guess when I run
Say
out
bye
of
to
good
everybody.
ideas, that's the. See you, Hunter.
See ya.
Hunter.
I got beer.
So,
Thank
go-
you.
go-
Hunter, you want a beer? No, I'm good.
All right. So that was my wife.
So you
calling
want
me.
some liquor?
You were saying something I wasn't paying attention
Well,
to.
David said, how long until I sell Sundown? And I said, whenever I run out of ideas or whatever the case may be.
Cool. Right?
It's either going to take a butt ton of money or Jake to run out of ideas. And I
Yeah.
think him running out of ideas is going to be the last thing that happens.
That's true. It might be the butt ton of money thing.
We all like a butt ton of money. Not a shitload, but a butt ton. Butt ton's a whole lot more.
Why are you sitting here?
Why don't you
just sit there?
Because
Tell you what,
I
David,
think,
you,
yeah.
you give me $100 million, you can have it right now.
Alright. He wants the status on the American made amplifiers. We did talk about it on the actual last episode that you can find on YouTube. It's still a work in progress. We've got one board out of 3 made, so we're kind of working on little bits at a time. It's probably looking at another year before we can even think about production on something like
But
that.
my goal, this might be optimistic.
No.
I would like to have the 3K for sale by the end of this year.
If you heard what he said, let us know.
I would like to sell the first model by the end of the year, maybe.
This year.
It took us a year to get the output section board done.
That's extremely optimistic. by the
Yeah,
way.
well, but the power supply board should take almost no time at all because it's very similar to the output board because it's a switching amp, and the power supplies are already switching in most modern amps anyway. So we just kind of modify that, the power supply, and the analog input board. It shouldn't be that difficult because there's no power circuits there, but it's pretty advanced. It's going to be lots of patented feedback technology, things like that. I'm expecting signal noise ratio of 100 plus dB. And full range on those, by the way.
Which is not heard of.
Yeah, and in a switching amp, it's almost impossible.
I didn't mention they were full range. That's pretty cool.
So someone else asked about Rockville. I think it's kind of a joke test, in my opinion.
We believe a clip signal got thrown through that woofer if they were using 750 watts.
Dude, I'm not even in the frame on one of them.
Oh yeah,
So you're just pulling this up on Facebook?
Sorry.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Facebook or YouTube.
So let's see here. I had another question.
Kendra wants to know if he can buy a share of Sundown. Well, unfortunately, Kendra, we're not publicly traded.
I had a question if
Sorry.
we want to do marine stuff from Tad Roberson.
All right.
So the new SAM amps, you can actually run on boats and
Boats and hose.
Boats and
off-road
hose.
vehicles and such. The boards are epoxy coated.
Yes.
Even though I'm not advertising that in particular.
They're not 100% waterproof, but they're damn near. And just don't submerge them, and you'll be good. If you get a splash here or two on them, they're good. So that, and again, the amp's is this big,
So-
7.5 inches across.
And as far as marine grade speakers, yes, that's something I've looked into. But where that's not my core market, like I really want to focus on my core market and get things that I consider more important to our core customers and distributors and all that done first. Is it something I want to do? Absolutely.
So we are looking at all fields, not just car audio. We look at like ATVs, outdoor equipment, things like that. That's actually exploding around this in the past few years because everything's a whole lot more efficient, a lot easier to work with. Things are cheaper, and that market's getting huge right now. So we're definitely looking into that,
You good, Donnie?
and little bits at a time,
Here, you
like
watch
we
this.
always do. We don't want to overdo the things that we're trying to
Jonathan Lessie. He's
Which one
Nick's
are they asking
guy.
about?
Josh's best friend.
Okay.
He just joined us on Facebook.
What's up?
He's one of my fellow anime nerds.
Sweet.
Hey, Jonathan.
I'm looking at the one on YouTube, and then you got Facebook.
I reckon I got the Facebook.
Yeah. Let's see.
Also, I saw David Berger claiming that he has a big butt. I don't think that's true, David.
Sorry, buddy. I got a Hank Hill ass myself, so.
This thing is.
It's like, look at that thing. It's like something that Joker
So,
would use.
one thing I wanted to talk about, since we're live and people are watching, and this is going on right now as we speak, is and we talked about this before, but it's happening again, the fucking tariffs that we're going to get hit
Oh,
with.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the deal, folks. Next week, probably, our prices are going to go up again. So,
Sorry, guys.
With like another,
America.
from at least 7.5% to 15%, depending on the item.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to soak up a little bit of it, but there's only so much I can do because I soaked up 100% of the tariffs in 2018. And that really put a damper on my cash flow. So I'm gonna do what I can, but I can't take in very much of that.
I don't know why this one's so dim.
Don't worry about it.
The first motorcycle accident, David, you need to be careful, man. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I made it look worse. Oh well.
Jesus Christ, David. What are you like? I don't even know how old you are now. Like 25? Fucking watch yourself.
Will we ever build a
What is it with Pete?
will we
Pete
ever build a
David
subwoofer
I
for
don't know.
rockets? Space
Subwoofer for-
space sound.
Hey, we have Derek Haddock watching us.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Hi Derek. You should probably come in. The guy
I
asked.
thought he couldn't.
The guy asked if we would ever build a subwoofer for rockets to go out in space.
Spaceship.
Oh,
Space
okay.
cars.
I guess if the government hired me to design one, I would do it.
Totally. Maybe one day we'll get into government work. That'd be awesome.
Why would the government hire you to do that?
Mhm.
He's a smart cookie.
The military does buy like sound generation devices.
You know why they want to do it in space?
I think Corey Dean makes some of them.
Because what happens in space?
That's kind of cool.
Aliens.
Aliens. So
Oh.
they're going to exercise the demons
Use your
in
hat.
space.
Use your hat.
Oh yeah, my alien hat's right there.
So we got Tony Ellis in there, Big Tony. Edward Lester we have in here.
Hey,
Saw Ed's new thingy. What do they call the thing? The Omi?
oh yeah.
Pretty cool.
He's finally. I think it's pretty much done. He's got the cover on it and everything. It's looking really good, man.
That's pretty.
Any plans for more Neo woofers? Of course there are.
Yes.
Actually, I think we're going to transition more into the Neo world than Ferrite in the next future.
The
The next
SD4,
future.
upcoming SD4 is Neo.
Yeah, we
Um,
talked about that.
I'm trying to sell out the last of the current team woofers. Then I'm going to do the next gen team that'll look like a Nightshade V4.
We don't have many teams left. We're pretty much done.
We do have a fair amount of ferrets.
Okay, so I need to get rid of those. I keep saying we're done with those.
Yeah, the new, well, we'll talk later.
What?
We're not, I need some of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Team motors.
We got them.
It says we're kind of quiet. Well, here's the reason why we're so quiet, because we actually are using tablets instead of the computer. The computer's messed up, guys. Still messed up, but I figured we would do a live show. So we actually have 2 tablets sitting up above the door frame right
Rigged
here.
up terribly.
They're Jake's kids
Brian
too,
spared
so
no
they're probably
expense. I
like
wish you
crying
could
if
see
they
this.
can't play
So
them.
everybody say thank you to JJ and Dylan, my children, for letting us
Yes.
borrow their tablets.
So yeah, we're using,
Oh, is that, is that
we're using Jack's kids' tablets up there.
So I have a question here, Brian.
Yeah.
Scott Davenport wants to switch to Sundown. What do we suggest for a base competition? Well, Scott, honestly, that's going to depend a lot on your application.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to win a straight up SPL competition, frequency, like higher frequency stuff like that, I would obviously suggest our new SPL. If you're doing like a more generalized competition, maybe peaking in like the 40s, I'd probably go with the U series. If you're wanting to play super low, like a music average competition, the ZV5 is killing it. If it's in your budget, obviously the Nightshade V4 does everything the Z does except louder.
Yeah, if you're doing strictly burps, you have. I mean, I know they're expensive, but they're definitely worth it. The Compact Neo or Neo SPL, whatever you want to call them. Right now we're on version 2 of that,
Yep.
and basically they're built to order, custom to fit your need.
Yeah, to your frequency range. We
Yeah,
have a lot of
you
different
tell
spiders.
us, or you tell your dealer, you know, what frequency range you're trying to play at, you know, where you're peaking at. Is it a musical build? Is it more of just a burp build? You know, we've got impedances from, let's see, we got quarter ohm, 0.35, 0.5, and 0.7.
Yep.
We don't have anything higher than that. Obviously, they're really meant for burps only, because they use a stainless steel former, which heats up really fast, also cools down very fast, but heats up very fast and it
It
can
does not cool down very fast.
Oh, okay. Well, it heats up really fast, and thus the coil would just slide right off if it gets too hot. So we
The
just
biggest
cool right
issue with the stainless and the sliding is that the coefficient of expansion is significantly different between aluminum and stainless steel. So like, the aluminum is going to expand more than the stainless, so then it creates basically pulls the adhesive off.
Yeah.
So I had another question here from Bubba.
Make sure you talk loud.
I have a question from Bubba. Bubba says, will there be a ZV6, and if so, will it be Neo? I'm working on a ZV6 right now. That's actually it's pretty similar to the V5. It's more of an evolution than a revolution design. Still be ferrite, a little bit stronger. I am trying to get the Z series into Neo, but I'm not. I haven't been able to finish the design yet because I have to get the cost down from where the Nightshade is, and that technology is still really new, and I'm trying my best to optimize it for cost as well. So, but probably by the time we do ZV7, it should be going Neo.
And Jake just mentioned earlier that the new Team series will be Neo. Right now we've got the Team Ferrite version 2, and then we also have the Team Neo.
It's gonna be
We're gonna do away with 2 different Team series. We're gonna do one Team series, which will be the version 3, and that version 3 will look a lot like the Nightshade does now, but it'll be a little bit bigger, a little more of an
It's got a
angle
little
on it,
angle on it, yeah.
and it'll have a chrome motor instead of a black motor.
Yep.
Speaking of Bubba, Donnie still hasn't seen Forrest Gump.
Donnie has not seen Forrest Gump.
No, like seriously.
Everyone booed
Donnie's
Donnie in the
what,
chat. I want to
31
see
probably?
thumbs down Donnie.
31?
Actually, I'll be 31 Monday. My birthday's
yeah.
Monday.
So it'll be 31 on Monday, and motherfucker still hasn't seen
Let's
Forrest
see
Gump
those
yet.
dislikes.
It's not because I don't want to watch it.
I see Tony's being facetious. I want to burp at 55 and also do subsonic.
Yeah, okay.
So then get you a Nightshade with the SPL surround on and Black Spider, Tony. That's what you need.
Tony from Mile to Wild? That's
No, different Tony.
No, I think it is. Tony Ellis.
Oh yes, Tony
Yeah,
Adams.
it's
Okay.
him. Yeah.
I'm looking at the YouTube one, not the Facebook one.
So Ed Lester, first batch of X15s. Is there a surround clamp? The factory was using these little steel clips, which we have in
Oh,
stock
yeah.
somewhere
Oh,
if we can find them.
Those are terrible though. It's not even one
Yeah,
piece. It's like
eight,
different
yeah.
plates.
I don't know if you want to mess with that or not, Ed.
Oh,
No,
they're
just
such
use a more superior glue.
They're
and-
such a
and you'll
pain
be
to
good.
get off. So the
Yeah.
screws they use are
Yeah.
really tiny and they break.
So Ed,
super
the
easy.
simple question is basically no. When I go to my next generation Sundown Frame V2, I'm going to have surround clamps as part of the design.
Now we essentially made the factory overseas use those clamps just as added security, just in case there was a glue failure. There's a secondary thing holding either the spider or the surround in, depending on which one you're using. Because at one point we had the spider also bolted down.
Yeah,
Kaylee Dean says, "I love you, Jenny."
I don't even know what that means.
It's from Forrest Gump, Donnie.
Yeah, Kaylee Dean. Is that Kaylee Dean? Said, who the
Hey.
fuck hasn't seen Forrest Gump? That guy.
Word. Hey, Ginger Ale gave you 2 black thumbs down.
It's not because I don't want to watch it. I just haven't got around.
At this
to it.
point, it's because he doesn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
been
it's
a
not.
You have to
long
watch it on your
time.
deathbed.
I've messaged him and be like, "You watching it yet?" I called him the other week and I was like, "You're coming over. We're gonna watch it." He just won't do it.
That's
So
busy.
I'm gonna continue to answer Ed's question real quick. So Ed, you don't need to use a gob of glue. What's really critical though is you sand the basket down to the bare metal, and then you clean the basket and the surround lining with isopropyl alcohol. Then let that dry, and then it's good to go. And Brian, continue about Forrest Gump, I believe. Is what you're going
No.
Is it important too to get it in like the? Do you create a seal like in the groove?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we make sure those grooves get filled in. Yeah.
Where is it? Fallen Creation says, what is our honest opinion on FI subwoofers?
Well, you know what? I talked about this once before. Actually, I think they're pretty good for the most part. Scott is a very smart guy. They have a lot of really cool motor designs, especially.
They did that big one, right?
They did that like 22
Big
or whatever,
old one
you
with
know.
the chains. Yeah.
So yeah, those guys do their own thing. They do a lot of machining here in America, which is great. I don't agree with some of their design choices, mostly having to do with tinsel leads, but that's their thing. I'm not gonna like talk bad on them. A lot of people use their products successfully. It's just that's not my thing. But Scott does his thing, and I respect that. You know? So yeah, good company, good products. Like I wouldn't, if you have them, good, use them. Like it's a good product, in my opinion.
Well, every company tries to be unique in their own way, and
Most companies.
most companies try to be unique in their own way, and rather than blatantly, copy. They're doing their own thing, and they're doing it well. So, I like their van, that big ass black F5 van,
Oh yeah.
or not a van, bus.
Oh,
That
there
thing's
we go.
awesome. It's a whole school bus. I've always wanted to do a
Hey,
school
who's
bus.
the big guy that works for FI? What's his name?
I don't remember.
That's the guy that went to JP's shop with
Yeah.
the big ass motor.
Yeah. Who is the big guy at FI? What's his name?
Is it Bert
Somebody
Delgado?
will tell us here.
I don't know.
It's a guy named Bert Delgado. I don't know. It just sounded like that would be a big guy that carried around.
It sounds like a big guy name, yeah.
Yeah, Bert Delgado. He said Forrest Gump, America.
My mother-in-law is watching. You don't want to watch this show.
Hey,
It's
Denise.
terrible.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise.
We'll see you at JR's again at some point. We
Oh,
always
yeah.
do.
Hey, we have Brody. How can I tell what series I have? Brody, if it's a current model, go to our website and look at pictures. If you're unable to figure it out from there, you can send a picture to Donnie, DONNIE @sunandI.com, and I'll help him identify it for you.
Often, if it's a bigger boy woofer with a mega roll cone, you can actually tell by the spider color as long as it's a stock woofer.
Okay. Go ahead.
The spider colors are X series is brown, Z series is black, and Nightshade series is red.
Yep.
However, again, if it's not a stock woofer, that's all that could be totally different.
Yeah, and if you step back a generation, the colors were different.
Yeah, it was
Like
there
the
was
original
yellow in
X Spider was black, and the original ZP4 was yellow.
Essentially, if you're not sure,
Bert
just
Delgado's
send,
5'6".
send us a picture through
Damn it, Bert.
email.
It's
So
a known issue.
Bubba says, what do you suggest for triple joint failure in a bandpass? Bubba, if you mean like tearing the base of the cone off, like triple joint failure, then yes, I would suggest a heavy epoxy treatment. You can do it on the back, and if you let us know that's something that's going on, we can build your recon. We can kind of run the epoxy under the dust cap, like up to where the glue flange is, and reinforce it on both sides.
Yeah.
Bert says his dad was the big guy.
Yeah.
So Jeff Allen, will Sundown ever sell glue? Jeff, the problem with that right now is that we build so many subs, it's like hard enough for me to keep the glue and sub. We buy it from an American vendor,
Yep.
and so you don't want the glue sitting around because it goes bad. So we buy just enough for like what our demand is. It's something I've considered. It's not out of the question.
We have to pay extra specific hazmat fees to ship glue as well. I know a lot of
Yeah.
companies don't do that, but if they get caught, there's repercussions.
Yeah.
So we try to do things by the book.
Also,
And
yes,
the book
Kyle,
is more
Dave
expensive.
works here. Dave Lee works here. Kyle.
Oh,
Yes.
carbon cones. What about carbon cones? We are working on that, Bubba. We actually have a local company, probably 10, 15 minutes from here, that's doing some prototypes for us. So, do I have an ETA? No. Am I working on it? Yes.
No, it's right here. It's probably that's the beer.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm watching
Are you
it.
watching Facebook or YouTube?
Facebook.
I'm on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube. Okay, so we got YouTube, you have Facebook. Alright.
That way we got all the questions.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard
Thomas,
me,
you
Kyle,
can
but
chime in
yes.
anytime you'd like.
Dave works here. Dave Lee works.
I hate car audio. I really do. This is just a gig, and
Thomas builds speakers.
I built the speakers.
so-
I couldn't
so-
care less.
So Dan is the big guy. Okay, so I know who Dan is. I didn't know he was the big guy. Okay. Well, now I have a face for the name. Okay.
Here's a good question. So, can I go straight from ZV5s to NSV4s without having to change anything within my wall?
Okay,
the
so
same-
if you're going to go straight from ZV5s to NSV4s, you must ask for the black spider if you don't want to change anything. If
Right.
you get the red spider, your frequency response is going to shift up. Okay, so get the black spider and then you can drop it right in, generally for a pretty decent game.
So
My
Julio.
wife is watching, and she just said that my son says hi. So
Hey Amanda, hey Jack.
hi, Jack.
Hey, both of you guys.
Hey,
Hi,
Jack.
Amanda. Hi, Jack. I love y'all very much.
So Julio states he had a question about very specific woofers from different companies. I'll be honest with you, we work here and so invested in what we do here that really haven't heard many other subwoofers from other companies. So I can't give you comparison thought or opinions. Sorry.
This is rapid fire questions. The guy asked, "When's my distillery going to be open to the public?" We're hoping to start selling products. It's in Maryland. Hoping to start selling products in Maryland within the next couple of months. And my business partner, he's the guy that runs day to day up there. We would want to have some like tasting opportunities open sometime. I would say by the end of the year.
What are we drinking, Jake?
We have a pretty good bourbon there.
It's called Isaac Bowman.
It's like Scott Bowman's
Damn,
brother, I
it's
think.
hot in here.
Yeah, it's very hot in here. Yeah.
It's
We need to get that
really
AC
hot
in
in
there.
here.
We don't have air conditioning in this room yet, and it's hot as balls. Which means the next couple shows are gonna be rough.
We gotta get it hooked up next week.
We have to keep doing live events and just do it like a cigar bar or some shit.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I actually wanted to do that at one point. Remember it was cigar,
Cigar
time.
time, yeah.
Cigar time with Jacob and Brian.
Yeah.
And then now it's just Sundown After Dark.
And the angry guy.
An angry guy. Yeah, plenty of folks. Anyway, this is really, really good.
Not angry.
For those who like, this is bourbon. For those who like bourbon, but you don't want the burn so much,
Bourbon.
this is good. It's got a nice sweetness to it. Yeah, it's-
Everybody's asking about the Rockville video.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard there's some hubbub about it. You didn't watch it either, did you?
I've just heard the reviews about the Rockville video. I'm not interested in watching it. I don't really
I haven't watched it yet either, so I can only assume because we know what that woofer does. It's an SA series. It can at least handle its RMS power. So if it blew at 750 watts, there was something else introduced to that woofer to make it blow, meaning probably clipping.
Somebody asked me if I will accept their friend's request on Facebook. No offense to
Probably not.
anybody that I haven't accepted their friend's request. If you meet me in person and we have a conversation, you're like, "Hey, can you accept my friend's request?" I probably will, but it's just so much. And yeah,
It takes a PP touch and a bottle of whiskey.
Is
That's
it
what
boxes?
I-
honestly, like most of the stuff that I post on my personal page that has anything to do with business, I make public anyway. Most of the stuff that has on my page that you don't see publicly is just like family pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
Can't really do anything.
Hey, if it makes you guys feel any better, send me a friend request, and I'll also deny it. I won't even look at it.
Tech Logic asks what enclosure we suggest for a U18. That's going to be a 5 cubic foot enclosure, and I'm getting a phone call right now.
Actually, you just bypass the question. I don't know.
Anyway, 5 cubic foot net volume enclosure. You want to use around 14 to 15 square inches of port area per cube, whatever that equals out times 5, and then tune that to between 30 and 35. Usually 35 is going to get you where you need to be, and that will be a very good box.
I got Wes Strickland. I'm gonna make sure I get him because
Alright.
Wes is a cool.
Oh,
dude.
so this guy here,
What's up,
he
Jake?
wants to know how you plan to compete with the Brazilian amps at low cost.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to fight the cheapest brands over the cheapest price, but I do have a series of budget amps that are cheaper than the SAEs that I'm working on. There's always gonna be someone cheaper, guys. I'm not gonna fight to the bottom, but yes, I do have plans to make something cheaper than the stuff we sell right now.
Yeah, we won't go with the whole race to zero. We just don't do it.
We
here.
don't run with that kind of crowd.
We won't forget you, Bert. Don't worry. I'm gonna wait till
Let me
it's
say
finished.
something to Wes real quick. Wes wants to know what sub we're working a Series Tune 6 order. I would honestly, for music, I would suggest the Nightshade. You want as much motor force as possible in a reasonable amount for a Series Tune 6 order.
Is that the one where you tune an octave apart? Is it series or is that
Any
parallel?
6 order. Series Tune 6 order is what Darien has.
Okay, so it's
And,
a quarter box,
Nightshade,
not a quarter
Nightshade works phenomenal in that. Yeah.
box. Alright.
Oh, so shifted motors. How do you fix shifted motors?
Well,
Bert wants to know.
you can send it to Corey Dean. Corey Dean does fix shifted motors, and you can find him on Facebook or wherever.
And
We-
if it's within the warranty period, we will warranty that.
Yeah, if
unless you dropped it.
Yeah, if it's warranty, we'll handle it. If it's a one-off woofer, maybe it's an old Nightshade or something funny, and you really only trust us, we will fix it, but we will charge you a good amount for it.
Yeah, we have to demagnetize it, disassemble it, put it back together, remagnetize
It's
it.
not fun to do, and there's always risk of breaking ferrite. So, I guess we won't charge you much if we break it, but we'll, there's always that risk. Even if you demagnetize it, sometimes there's still some magnetization left, and trying to get that top plate off Every once in a while, I've seen it where it cracks the ferrite underneath of it, so we have to be careful. We've done it plenty of times. It's not easy to do. It's not fun to do, and it is time consuming, but we will do it.
I hope I didn't miss it. If we've missed your question, there's a lot. If we missed it, feel free to say something.
Kent asked a question. He has two LCSs, and he wants to know a good box to put them in. A ported enclosure, those are 12s, they only come in 12. So a ported enclosure for a pair, just do one big net volume of 3 cubic foot. You want to use, was it like 32 to 36 square inches of port area, somewhere in that range, 2 to 35 hertz, and you're good to go.
I've got 2 in a row here, guys. Shane Ickstrom, would you guys consider full bridge? Yes. I don't want to go into it any further right now. Joaquin, why no SA subs in the yard sale? The quality control of the SA subs has really been stellar lately, so we haven't had very many fail.
Oh, really? We don't have that many?
There's very few SAs.
We used to have a bunch of essays in the yard sale.
Yeah.
If they're in the yard sale, it's probably going to be not a boxed up item. It'll probably end up being like a used one.
I got another question. Zach, what's the return with my mining rigs? Right now, Zach, it's not super great, but I'm still about 50% higher than power cost. If I were to sell all the coins I have right now, I would basically be even with my costs. I'm holding them because Bitcoin's kind of rallying. Bitcoin just broke 6K last night, so I'm holding a lot of coins. If the coins go back up to anywhere close to where they were at the end of 2017, I'll be like way ahead. So I'm holding.
Oh, the 7500s will be back in stock in the summer.
Say that louder and clearer.
The 7500s will be back in stock this summer.
It's fucking yelling, Daddy.
I've never seen Forrest Gump.
So
What an ass.
The 7500!
Kaylee Dean says, what kind of cigars do you smoke? Mostly Padron. This is a Padron 1964 Maduro right
I
here.
have a Rocky Patel vintage. Is that loud enough? Rocky Patel vintage 1990.
So Jeff Allen, plans for the demo van. We don't have any changes planned for it. We did have a sub down for a while, and we had some alternator issues which are getting taken care of, but it's pretty much the same. Byron says, do we have a Tahoe size windshield banner? Derek can make that. If you hit up Derek from Sundown Unofficial, I don't know what his pricing is like though. Or Kyle can too,
Yeah,
right?
Derek's kind of sending everybody for the big decals because he's a busy guy. We're trying to funnel all of our like big stuff to DVS Designs, in which you can find on Facebook.
Look at this damn pour. Look what Brian just poured himself.
Oh, I want to tell Shane something.
Anyway, the letters DVS and then Designs. Look for it on Facebook. They can make any decal you want. Also, if you go to Sundown After Dark's Facebook page, that's where you can buy T-shirts. And I don't think any of us are wearing the T-shirt. No,
I have a hole in mine. Kyle, if Kyle's listening,
Shane,
I need one. And I know you gave me 2. I messed both of them up.
I have 2 questions in a row. Shane, I have checked out Banda. Actually, I tested a 3K from almost every Brazilian company. The Banda seemed to be the most stable out of them all, and if I recall correctly, it was the second most powerful. I tested all 3Ks. Kaylee Dean, why doesn't Johnny do something after dark? We asked Johnny to be a part today. Johnny has
today.
He has family obligations he has to take care of. He said we'd love to though.
Thursdays are hard for Johnny. Same thing with David Lee. Thursdays are hard for him as well. We usually do the show on Thursday. At least that's when we record it. I usually will post it the next day. Yeah, whenever, basically everybody in this building is always welcome on the show. It's just that a lot of people have things to do after work.
And I don't want to do this ever. They just talk me into it.
Yeah, we
Room's
just
not big enough
we
for Johnny.
basically have Thomas chained to a chair. Julio asks what we have in our daily drivers. Well, to be honest with you, we're so busy, we don't have much. I think Donnie's got coaxials in his car. I've done a bunch of installs, but I'm always changing cars. I just got a new car not long ago, and I actually plan on doing a pretty significant system in it. Problem is I have to do things perfectly because I'm a perfectionist, and I don't want to start a project again
Yeah.
that I'm not going to
I have
finish.
plans. Actually, my Mercedes. Once I get the JFS Q12 done, that's what I'm waiting for. My dealer James Taylor Tech 12 Volt is going to do my install. I'm going to have the JFS Q12 in the back and a component set up front.
Yeah, he's in Georgia.
And then my Volkswagen, I have a Really, Brian?
Oh,
Okay.
no.
My Volkswagen, I have a diesel Volkswagen that I really like. I have a head unit. Oh god. I have a head
That's so
unit.
bad.
A head unit that I want to put in the Volkswagen.
I don't know if
And
the camera could hear
I'm
that.
gonna run SD412s in the Volkswagen, and then an SA component set in it as well.
That's fucking rough.
Brian, really?
Why? Why'd you have to fart? Why'd you have to fart?
Because we're live, man. I've never farted live in front of like a buttload of people.
Kaylee Dean said, "Is she welcome on the show?" Yeah, sure.
Hey, you make it over here. You're welcome.
She's
We might make you like try some
Leeds,
spicy
Yeah,
Florida.
Naples,
turkey
Naples.
She has
or
a sundown
something.
tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's in Naples. Yeah, you can come on the show.
Oh, oh my god. Nope.
We might make you take like a shot of, liquor,
What's
or you'll eat like
Kaylee's,
some hot beef
her
jerky
husband
or
is a
some
Sundown fan as
stupid
well.
shit.
Yeah, Justin. Or
But
I don't know
yeah.
names. He's my friend on Facebook.
Yep.
It's so hot. Like my nose is all sweaty, but I don't. Ryan.
I'm sorry. I don't think anybody realizes what happened.
Oh man.
Brian, what did you do, man?
I had lunch.
he like shit himself.
You guys gotta speak up. Remember, the microphone's all the way the fuck over there. Anyway, let's get back to the questions.
Shane Ekstrom wants to be on here for handing out shots.
Shane's all the way out in freaking Canada.
Oh, I'm going to Canada for Christmas.
Is he
You
in Canada? Really?
you ain't going to that part of
Shane
Canada.
in
Where's Shane at?
Shane's in Canada.
Where at in Canada?
Nova Scotia area.
I'm going to Banff.
Am I right, King? Shane?
That's like central, right?
Joaquin said,
No.
how many
It's
SA12s
all at the coast.
in the yard sale? Honestly,
Oh.
man, I'm not sure if there's any SA12s in the yard sale right now. If there are, like we do update the yard sale website like every 2 to 3 weeks.
We're busy. We forgot to update things. This is kind of how it goes.
Thomas Stevens said that Brian's fart smelled like burnt coils. No, it didn't smell that good.
No,
I wish it smelled like burnt coals. I do.
Yeah.
I've been known
Great
to,
name, by the way. There's like 4 of us left, so we all need to stick together.
I've been known to kill a few folks with my gaseousness.
Elizabeth threw up once.
So
That's
when
true,
I was younger, like
See, hey, Shane says he's in Florida. Brian, you're way off.
I'm thinking of Matt Ekstrom. Sorry, Shane, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, there's
All the
multi-
extrams are welcome.
Multiple extrams.
Yeah, there's only like 2 extrams that are in like car audio. It's Matt and Shane. I get them mixed up as to which one's located where. Anyway, when I was younger, I used to fart in my brother's face, and he would throw up. And my mom would get so pissed the fuck off. She's like, she'd make me clean it up.
Joaquin wanted clarification on my personal install. Since you're talking about farts, let's just change subject. For my personal install, Joaquin, my Mercedes, I want to do the JF SQ12, which isn't done yet. It's actually sitting right over there. Someone grab it and show it on the camera again.
I ain't picking it up.
For my Volkswagen, I want to do the SD412s. I'm a big sealed box guy. For
My balls
personal
was
setups.
hot.
So Brian's bringing in the SQ12.
I'm not holding that fucking
Hold it up a
thing.
little higher, Brian.
Oh, there we go.
So
Oh,
this bad
man.
boy here, Brian, show the profile of
It's
it.
not. It's light.
This bad boy here is a 5-inch
He's gonna
coil.
break his own damn table.
It's a 5-inch coil underhung driver with a carbon fiber cone. It's really awesome. Actually, it's funny. The problem with this one is it had too much motor force.
My balls was hot.
You can't see Brian off camera, but he's like a drunk walrus or something.
I'm just a cartoon. My whole life is a cartoon, and it's actually pretty funny to be honest with you.
Jeff says, how are the new component sets coming? Okay, there's multiple answers to that. The new SA component set is due probably June. The X component set is still very much in development. I started the tooling on the tweeter housing, crossover housing, and the frame, and the cone. And everything's tooled on that. So I should have prototypes on it. First prototypes June and July. So estimated time of release, December, I would say, December, January.
I got an answer to a couple of questions. So there's
Go
a couple
for it,
people.
man. Talk up.
There's a couple people that want to know, is that the appropriate level?
Yes.
So let's go over here and talk
There's a
about
gas
trading in
leak in this room.
their old woofers towards new ones. So we're not taking trades on SAs. However, you can do
I say or below.
you can SA or below, but you can do an exchange if it's within 5 years. So you pay the exchange fee, which is the recone fee plus $20, and we'll send you new woofers. So it's a little more expensive than if you were to trade, which is typically 80%, but you can get new woofers that way. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And it's cheaper than buying a new one.
And all you got to do to make that happen is you'll fill out an RMA form, or you can email me and get that started for you.
Yeah.
Speakers.
Kaylee Dean's posted a bunch of ears. Does that mean you can't hear us? I don't.
Help!
Jamarvelous.
Marvelous!
Love that. That's
Send
awesome.
me smoke signals. I don't know what the hell you're trying to say.
Jamarvelous says we're the coolest guys in car audio.
Thank you, Jamarvelous.
Hell yeah.
That's not exactly what it says. It says you guys get the coolest car audio company ever award. You just take it out of context. Different words in his mouth.
Hey.
We're assholes.
No, Thomas is.
Like
I'm
us
not-
as people are terrible.
I'm not an asshole. I
You don't want to hang out with us for real, but like the company, yeah, it's cool, I guess.
You know, at the end of the day, people
asshole.
people go, man, you work for Sundown. That's the coolest job ever. Yada yada. That is true. But remember, it is a
Throw
job,
that away for me, please.
and we have stressful moments,
Responsibility.
just like any job.
Oh hell yeah, I do. Yeah.
NSV 8, Patrick Crowd. So Patrick, there's a few things going on here. One, I need to finish the Conan Surround and Spider Toolings. 2, I'm waiting for the basket patent.
It
for
is
it.
hot, yeah.
So patents could take anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Thomas is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas doesn't think any of us are real.
That's true.
You
Oh,
think-
I'm convinced that Brian's like a coping mechanism on my own imagination because he always knows what to do or say to make me laugh, and that's like really hard to do because I'm such a grump ass.
the
So,
mad guy.
Oh,
I'm not
Jeff
mad
Allen.
all the time.
Jeff
Yeah, he's
Allen.
mad. Remember,
You're totally mad all
we're
the
on
time.
camera. That means we're entertaining you. So
Jeff,
that's
Jeff,
his
Jeff Allen
entertainment.
has a good question. Have you guys ever thought of doing a demo vehicle for the average consumer? We have one. It's our
Yes.
BMW 5 Series. It has what, 4 E12s in it?
Yeah, 4 E12s, and I think it's
Yeah, but
a 4K.
Do we really ever take it? Because like
Well,
we took it
it's,
to the Sundown show. I drove it there.
Brandon
but-
drove it around like the country basically, and I think we're planning to bring it to Slam.
The
It's got-
vehicle itself has
It's got some
issues.
service, like
Yeah.
some sort of sensor thing. It's a BMW.
It
You know how
has
it
a
is?
bunch of different.
And then it's
like,
the SA component, and the 2.75 is in a freeway.
Yep.
It sounds great.
It's a slight budget build, even though it's done up like really nice. King Kong
Yeah, King
Customs
Kong
did the install
It's
for
beautiful.
us. Really beautiful install. But the product that's in it is not super expensive, and basically we wanted to do a build that was more geared towards somewhat budget or not insane, you know. And we're dealing with some engine, like a sensor issue, and we're having a little bit of backfeed in some
It
of
probably
our
has to do with the
stickers.
processor. It's got a processor in it.
So as soon as that build's back up and running, it'll be at our show, and we'll
Yep.
take it all over the place. I wanted to take it to Tennessee when we went out there, but the
It's in the
engines,
shop, yeah.
they're still having some problems.
Was that the last show? But did we ever really like turn it on? I don't think we ever really
Yeah,
did.
we downloaded it at the Sundown Show quite a bit, yeah. So we got Eric Coulter in the house. He's a really cool guy that's mutual friends with me, Scotty
Eric.
Johnson, Nick Wright,
Hold on,
all
that's
the cool kids.
Champion Homes guy?
Champion Homes guy.
Hell yeah, Eric.
Hit up Brian, he's
I need
interested.
I need a house, I have land, and I have to put a house on that land, and we need to talk.
Yes.
Because, yeah.
Oh, what did I just do? I'm
So SA earbuds. I am planning to start production on them within the next month or two.
Speak up, Jake.
SA earbuds starting production in the next month or
You
two.
had it right the first time. You're like, speak up, Jake. I mean, Jake.
Jeff, yeah, I believe that was the install that King Kong shared. Yeah, where the 412's upfiring. Yep, that's the BMW.
Yeah, they did a bunch of, a lot of fiberglass work, a lot of panels to make things just look real clean with the curves and contours of the hatch.
It's hot, yeah.
yeah.
And a bunch of LEDs. It looks really nice. The install goes with the interior of the vehicle. It actually looks like it should be part of the vehicle, and they did a really good job. So if anybody in the New Mexico area or just the Southwest in general, if you want a high-end
Oh, dude.
install, go to King Kong.
You gotta see. Did you see what King Kong did to Philip Scarborough's van?
I saw that he was
He
there.
did this really badass like stack fab center console. He's doing like an extreme build. That fucker did like a 177 in the kick, I believe,
Holy shit!
and like a 174, 175 on the dash.
I think it's time for Philip to run sundown.
Well, he runs Crossfire, great company. Roger's a good dude.
Yep,
If he came to me and he wanted to run Sundown, I would be honored, but I don't want to try to take him away from Crossfire.
I like Philip. Philip's a cool dude.
He's JP's other Bitcoin miner guy that helps him.
Like we see Philip when we go on the West Coast to the shows that are out there. Like we'll probably see him again in Oregon.
Yeah, he's cool, dude. I want to see the van again. I want to see that van.
Someone asked if there would be a Sundown, I guess, sponsored SPL show in the Midwest.
All right,
I don't think
actually,
that's really possible.
Midwest,
actually, hold on.
like-
I didn't tell you guys.
I love Indiana. I love.
So in the
I'll do it.
Midwest,
Let's
so
do
we're
it.
talking like Wisconsin, Minnesota area.
Minnesota.
Those guys have actually reached out to me, and Adam Gear is one of them, to try to do a show where we're a big part of it, and they're trying to set that up right now. So maybe next year around show season, you might see a big, I want to say fully Sundown sponsored show in the Midwest, but we're trying to work on something because the Midwest has a very short season because of the winter weather.
Yeah, it's nice for like an hour.
And they're trying to build up their show presence.
do like fake Midwest, like Ohio, Indiana. It's like fake Midwest.
Kansas.
Apparently, well, so
That's
someone
the
on
Skid
here-
West.
Well, someone on here is saying that there's one in Kansas. It's a really big one.
That's where Kenville is, right?
Yeah, there's a couple big shows
Kenville's in
out,
Kansas.
out that way. We have Midwest SPL. Yeah. Actually,
Oh, what the hell is that?
Oh, what's going on?
One of our tablets is going.
Can
you
you
do it,
record a
Brian?
video? Won't be
Oh
live.
man.
Hey, it's live.
We're just gonna press again. This is the one that
Doing it
is.
live.
This is the one that's
YouTube.
Facebook. I think
Is
it's Facebook.
Is it?
The
Yeah.
Facebook one hasn't been disturbed.
Yeah,
It
mine's.
still says we're live. Hey, if you're on Facebook, hey, you got Facebook up right now.
I'm watching it.
That's
You're
working.
just sitting here looking at the screen.
It
What's the
showed a
problem?
thing. You saw
But,
it, right?
like,
Everybody
the-
saw it. There was like an error.
Rah.
I saw the viewer count go down.
I don't know.
We're still at 20.
It still says we're live.
Hey, we got Travis in the house.
Travis.
which
Young.
Travis?
Travis Young, man.
Hey,
Travis, get your ass over here.
Still live.
Wayne
Okay,
Higley
good.
says we're going, man.
All right. They just wanted to play games with me.
Travis, are we doing a show or what, man?
Oh, Travis will be on this.
Yeah, we got Travis and Yui on here. By the way, Yui's getting married with Brittany.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, they're getting
Denise,
married.
why are you
They're
still
getting married
watching
at
this?
some point, but I know they postponed the date.
Okay.
So.
But then, hold on. So they're still doing like a. I heard that they were doing as their wedding like a car audio
Yeah,
show
yeah,
thing.
they're totally doing like a big
That's
ass show.
awesome. Are we invited, Yui?
Of course we are.
Hell yeah.
And like the whole Carter community is like invited to their wedding.
I mean, I have to give permission because Brittany is my West Coast girlfriend.
That's right. Yeah, you gotta walk her up the aisle.
Oh shit! I think I just blocked somebody.
All right.
I'm trying to get it to show me more.
Stop blocking
comments.
people, man.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We've got Luke
If I-
Hensley in
if
the
I
house.
just blocked you. I'm sorry.
Luke's the photo guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That guy was at CES.
Yeah, we see,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
See, we see him at the Oregon show too. Luke
He's
got
pretty cool.
Some kick-ass pictures, by the way. Actually, my profile picture or my cover photo is the one that he
I
took.
feel like
out.
I feel like if I ever took surfing lessons and the guy didn't look like him, I would be disappointed.
Yeah.
Luke, you kind of look like when Rob Zombie remade Halloween. You look like little Michael Myers, but like grown up.
It's weird, man.
Yeah. Like you have the blonde hair and I mean
By the way, that dude did grow up and now he's a rapper.
he's a rapper and his rap is amazing.
Who is this?
Dave Ferret.
It's so
Understand,
bad,
Dave?
it's good.
Oh, we've listened. If you're listening, Dave. Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole. It was hilarious.
Keep sending us questions, folks. We need questions to answer. Anyway, do you want to talk a little bit about the tariffs and what's going on right now?
Do I want to talk about the tariffs?
That shit's
No.
bumming us out.
So, I found out on Sunday from the Twitter in chief He is going to get anything that's at 10% now. It's going to boost it to 25. That's going to impact our SAE amps. And that's going to impact any woofer that we build here in house. So what I've done up to this point is I kind of split the difference with some of our complete woofers and the built woofers, so nothing went up drastically. So I'm going to try to do that again, and I'm probably going to have to absorb a couple percent myself. But it's really going to hurt cash flow. I have enough containers on the water. It's going to cost me an extra $100,000 in tariffs just to clear stuff that's already on the water. So it's basically retroactive to things that I ordered months ago. And so yeah, it's really painful, and I apologize to customers that they have to pay that, but that's just the reality. Oh, this is not the photo guy. This is a different Luke.
Oh.
Well, you take good pictures too, Luke.
They gotta get hush puppies.
It's okay, man.
We,
I'm really bad with names. I just
He's not the only Luke.
But
in
that
Colorado.
dude watches the show.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, because he came up to me, he was like, "Oh, hey, you're Donnie," and I'm like, "What? Who? No, nobody
Donnie's a
knows who I am."
celebrity now.
No.
Thomas is the mad guy.
I'm just that asshole that presses the buttons.
I think there's only 2 people that ask me questions, and that's Philip Irish, and I think Ginger Ale asked me a question once.
Yep.
I love horror films, and so
Oh,
he asked me a horror
this guy's
question.
SPL Cartel, so I know who he is now.
Oh
Okay.
shit, that guy. Okay.
Okay.
Or on roller
Sorry.
coaster.
He does the bass knobs, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool too, man. I like that as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of people running our shit, running your shit. So.
Philip Irish is a bitch. That's what Kaylee Dean said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I mean, he always asks me the horror movie questions, and I like those questions because I like.
We need
horror
to
movies.
get Kendra on the show.
That would be
Fuck
awesome.
yeah.
Is
So-
he coming to the show? Should come to the
Yeah,
show.
that's the show.
From Kansas to here is a pretty long drive.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis is watching us now.
What's up, Travis? You should
Travis is-
definitely do something.
Travis
else.
is Thomas's brother. He's actually going to come back and join us again for his break from school.
He's worked here.
Actually, Travis, when I first started working on this set, I got some pointers from him because he works in
Yeah.
broadcast. His career will be in broadcasting once he.
The videographer.
Yeah, once he. I've been drinking too much.
Hey, Travis.
Donnie, what did you think about the It 2 trailer? That was a question.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
I
it
watched
looks
it
so
yet.
good.
I haven't watched it yet.
Donnie doesn't watch trailers. He doesn't do it.
Anymore. Well, let me tell this story.
Thanks, Joe, by the way. Joe said Sundown for the win.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Jamarvelous asks, will there ever be a woofer that we create that is just for the low lows? He doesn't care about transient response or bandwidth or any of that jazz. Well, right, the answer to that is
I'm not
really,
capable of making one that doesn't sound good.
it's going to be no because it has to be perfect for us. But at the same time, if you're looking for the lowest of low woofers, it's going to be our X series, which has the lowest FS of our bigger boy woofers.
You can do the X or the ZV5, and you just if you got a ZV5 with the brown spider on it, you'd really accentuate those
There you
lows. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have that motor force with the soft suspension. And if you wanted something that was even more ridiculously soft, you can always check out Stereo Integrity. However, be
Oh,
careful.
yeah.
Be careful trying to run that in your car. It's not really meant for car use. But
Yeah, Nick at Stereo Integrity uses our motors with his own soft part package to get the FS down.
and his soft parts are softer. So
So somebody asked me a question. Kyle, which 210s and how much power would it take to equal the SA15 with 3180 watts? I would say 2 U10s would meet or exceed that.
see.
Jimmy's
Alright.
watching us, big
You
Jimmy.
guys got any questions about like
Turtles.
turtles or like what's our favorite cheese?
Gouda.
How would you get coconuts in England?
Like how would you get a coconut in England? What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
African
Uh,
or European?
Why sometimes it be like it is, but it do?
Everything about
Kayla
scary
Dean says,
movies.
"What's your favorite cheese?"
Gouda.
Smoked Gouda and regular Gouda. Smoked Gouda edges out regular Gouda slightly, but it depends on what I'm wrapping with. I would rather regular Gouda if I was wrapping it with prosciutto, and I would rather smoked Gouda if I was wrapping it with ham. Both
Who's-
pork products, but very different.
Who's the gayest person there?
Thomas.
I'm kind of a rather eccentric, somewhat flamboyant individual.
Fire crotch.
What?
Anyway.
That's that Ramondo cheese.
Who works the hardest at Sundown?
We're not gonna say.
I don't know, man. G's a hustler.
We all feel like
Trilogy, I
we
guess.
all bust our
She's a
asses.
hustler, I feel like.
I polished the trophies today. I'm just saying.
Donnie does it. Donnie will do anything.
You know who the hardest worker is, and we generally don't talk. It's gonna be Paola.
Yeah, you're right.
Paola is probably the hardest worker
Yeah,
here.
you're right. She is.
She kicks ass. I need to get a phone charger for my shit. You guys just
Well, it's
keep
funny
talking.
because G and Kayla are siblings, you know, and they're our two super hard workers, and they're basically like, well, they are my family. They're my wife's cousins, and I feel like they're almost like kids to me, or niece and nephew at least, you know, and they just bust their ass for me, you know.
Here's a good one, Jake. What's y'all's go-to beer of choice?
Go-to beer if we're not trying to like get super drunk is Miller Lite, man.
Coors,
Miller Lite's my favorite light beer.
I'm a Coors guy.
here we
Brian's
go.
a Coors guy. Donnie's a Coors guy. If I was really into craft beer, like in my mid to late 20s, but now I'm old and it's starting to make me fat. But I really enjoyed a lot of IPAs, stuff like that.
So
Not just the cookie cutter like shitty IPAs where they just keep loading it down with hops to hide like how shitty the beer is. I really like the sophisticated ones. I really like the Hot Drop and Roll. Pretty much anything Stone Brewing makes, I'll drink. I'll try. Stone IPA is good. Arrogant Bastard is one of my favorite beers of all time.
Bastard is something.
I love Dogfish Head Brewing.
90-minute.
90 Minute, yeah, and they also make a Sequench Ale, which is like, it's very tart. It's got a lot of lime in it. I enjoy that. It
Oh, I got more
tastes
questions
like
here.
a key lime pie, but it's a beer. It's just awesome. Go get yourself some. It's all too easy to finish a 6-pack of them. They're even lighter in alcohol percentage.
I got some
4%.
questions, guys. What are good hotels around the Sundown Show? I always recommend the Crown Plaza.
Yeah.
It's just a couple miles down the road. It's probably the nicest hotel in the area.
There's a La Quinta. There's a La Quinta right there by the.
La Quinta is Spanish for you go and get stabbed.
Yeah, there's a La Quinta. I think it's Conover.
That's what Ralphie May said about La Quinta. He says that's Spanish for you go and get stabbed. Kaylee Dean has 2 questions for me.
Yeah.
Favorite sushi? That'd be the Zeffy roll at Joel's Sushi in Mooresville. Generic sushi at any place, anything with lobster. Favorite vodka? Bedlam vodka, made in Raleigh, North Carolina.
I don't drink the Vodak.
Ha.
I keep away from the stuff. Had
Alright.
too much of that in college.
So many questions. Scott Howe, will there
Yeah,
ever
we
be a
got a
Neopro V310? Scott, I did sell a Neopro 10. It wasn't a great seller. I'll tell you what I am doing for a 10. I have a new line, a Ferrite Pro Sound driver I'm working on, and the first 2 models will be a 10 and an 8. That thing is pretty spectacular. It's got a really strong carbon fiber cone. I'm doing on the 10, a 200 millimeter Ferrite motor with a Neo cap. I'm looking at, in the majority of the bandwidth, the sensitivity is around 100. The 1K sensitivity is like 96.8, something like that. So that's something I've been working on for a while.
It's really hot in here right now.
It's so hot.
It's really hot.
It's
And I'm like
so
I'm a
hot.
lizard. I'm cold blooded.
It's
I
not even
so many
love the
questions.
heat.
It's not even
we gotta get
summertime.
some really
Ask
good
us
questions
anything.
to keep us
I
going.
can't answer this
It's
car
hot.
audio shit.
How about
'cause I don't care.
All right, Jamarvelous wants to know Everclear mixed with Jaeger.
Death.
No,
Actually, the
that's-
first time
that's
that I
rough.
ever drank with Brendan Sparks, who's our VP,
Yep.
was Everclear. We're just doing shots of Everclear. It was kind of like a bet you won't sort of situation.
Shit, I got another question here. Aldo Ramirez wants to know if the temperature of 122 to 131 is okay. Aldo, if you're measuring directly on the coil itself, that's
fine.
completely fine. If you're below, I generally say for continuous operation, like 200 and below is pretty good. So I hope that helps.
2 to 300 gets a little scary, and anything above that's obviously you're asking for something.
What about
Okay.
cigars? Maybe that's fair.
Steven Adams, when y'all go to Megaroll V3, y'all need a Megaroll V2 Classic. So Steven,
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Steven, when I finish whatever it is I end up making Mega V3, which is looking as of right now, it's looking like the W style.
Sucks.
If I do that, I am going to keep
like,
I am going to keep the Mega V2 around for people that want
it's
it.
probably
Because
just
the
my
Mega
bad.
V2 is really phenomenal for what it is, for like super low frequency extension. So when I go to the V3, the W surround, the W is more, it's more foolproof, it's much harder to damage.
Yeah.
But if you're that guy that you just want to kill 20 hertz, the
Yeah.
Mega V2 is still going to be
No,
what you
we
want.
keep parts for woofers that haven't been made in forever, like for a long time. So
Here we go. Any updates with the Salt amps? Steve, I have one more run of SEVs coming next month. I expect Salt prototypes within next month, so I would say, let's see, probably November for the Salt amps. Will the Salt have a 4-channel? I am working on that. I'm hoping to release a 4-channel and a 2-channel along with the monos. That's my goal. But like I said, the tariff stuff is really wreaking havoc with my cash flow.
yeah,
How do I like my steak cooked? Medium rare.
hell yeah, medium rare it is, buddy.
Medium rare.
The only way. Subbin 2.
Donnie likes his steak cooked like a tire.
All right, Subbin 2. You have a very specific question.
Donnie likes it well done with ketchup.
You might as well
About a
just start
specific
eating a fucking
Woofer
hat.
and I can't answer your question.
What happened?
Subbin 2 had a very specific question about a woofer that we don't make.
What is it?
You want a 4 HP built or 4
That's a
HP?
strong motor, yeah.
But I couldn't, personally, I don't know what compares to it.
That would be comparable to like our team.
What's our most powerful 10-inch? Well, that's going to be our Nightshade version 410.
Yes.
We don't make a Team 10 because the coil's too damn big to make the suspension or the spider work with it at the
Now,
moment.
when I go to Sundown Frame version 2, I will be able to make a 10.
Yep.
I don't have an ETA for Sundown Frame version 2. There's a tremendous amount of R&D. I'm making sure that dot all the I's, cross all the T's, everything.
Since everybody, I won't say everybody, since we've come out with the Mega Roll cones, and a lot of more mainstream companies are now looking at us and trying to figure out what we're doing, we have to be extra careful now to get things right the first time. So that means more R&D, more going back and looking at what it is that we did wrong to fix the, for the future.
Well, our stuff now is like, it's honestly, everything we sell now is really good. So from going from where we are now, it's mostly evolution, in my opinion. I think we created a total revolution when we came out with the Mega Rolls and the
Yeah.
new frames.
And that's not just him being a narcissist. That's the truth.
Yeah, nothing like it had been done. It's
Damn Scar made a shallow mount with a Mega Roll.
Oh, they never released it, Thomas.
Oh, they never did.
Yeah, it was a-
Surprise!
yeah, I remember the.
I don't
prototype
keep up
picture.
with this shit.
Nicole wanted me to say hi to her daughter. So hi Ella, how are you?
Hey Ella.
Hi.
Hi
Yeah,
Ella.
sure.
Her daughter is
watching.
full of smiles.
Well,
Yeah.
kids are
She's a
watching.
very happy lady.
We should,
Yeah,
we should tone it
We
down.
should tone it down a notch, even though I'm getting a little more
Favorite
turned
hot,
up.
favorite hot sauce. There's so many good hot sauces. Where do I even
The
begin?
Death Nut.
The
No.
last dab.
The last dab is hands down.
It's
There's
phenomenal.
It's the
there's ones
tastiest one.
there's ones
and
hotter.
It's super hot.
there's ones hotter, but the last dab is it. Like that's the one.
No, but what do we put on everything? What do I put on everything? I
Sriracha?
put
Truffle?
truff.
The truffle.
I have not yet tried it.
Oh, yeah,
on
it's
full.
good.
Truff.
Wait, you weren't there when Maya was born?
I had some of the truff, like a little bit of it.
I mean, you were
I've
there.
never had it.
Everybody was
I
there.
never like dumped it.
I got one I want to answer real quick. Thomas Stevens, RMA for your SA8 V2. Should you recon into stock? Thomas, get the V3 parts. You'll get most of the advantages of the V3 that way.
Tater tots and ice cream.
That guy said fuck Scar.
Oh, look at I don't want to turn it to negative time, guys.
I'm just saying.
So
My
Luke,
balls are hot.
Luke said, "How are the carbon cones coming along?" We have prototypes. Brandon goes to visit the guy every couple weeks. Like, we want to get the biggest thing is we want the finish quality to be there. The cones are absurdly strong, but it's just getting the smooth. Because I mean they're going to be expensive, so I want them to look good for everybody.
All right, Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock.
That'd be awesome if it was a rock.
Oh yeah.
He asks where to send his Obsidian woofers to get rebuilt. Well, that you want to talk to Gary at
He's DB Revolution.
DB Revolution. I believe it's
Gary Fletcher is his name, but
Gary.
I don't remember
DB
his
Oh
his
shit!
email address offhand.
Damn it! I used to know his email address. Anyway, check out Gary Fletcher on Facebook. Just message him. He can take care of your Obsidian woofers.
So Is Truff good? Is Truff good? Is that even a question? Yes.
I
it's found.
answered that. Yeah.
So,
It's weird. I'm
uh,
like answering stuff. I'm like commenting, but I can just say it.
Truff is
Ah!
Truff is very good. I've had that little bit on like a cracker, and it was very good. I want to put it on like a
It's-
whole thing of chicken.
It's like
You know what's
it's
really good on?
earthy. It's really
Pasta.
earthy and tasty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, imagine it's
amazing
great
on
What
on
did you bring
pasta.
any
Yeah.
pasta for
I forgot
me
to bring
today,
pasta.
You bastard. I had lunch anyway.
Will the carbon cones be heavy? They are heavy-ish.
Are you on YouTube now?
No, on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, they're heavy-ish, but we're trying to make them as light as possible. Steven Adams, why not make a radial motor sub? Because I don't like normal radials. The NSV4 is what I call Jake radial. And that's the technology that I use in lieu of a standard radial. The
Yeah.
whole reason I invented the NSV4 technology is because I don't like what's being put out there in the radial market in general. Not to say that they're bad products or anything, it's just not my bag.
Also, again, we like to be unique. We don't want to be everybody else.
So what is that? Can you give me some information?
Like
I
a
don't
standard
know what that
radial.
is. Yeah.
A
what
standard
is it?
radial is like a DDZ where it has the columns and the Neo facing towards the gap. And the
Oh,
Neo
okay.
is like right there on the gap.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
like,
It's not-
it's rectangular blocks and it's like, the flux isn't completely even. Then your Neo is completely exposed.
Okay.
And the motor's completely open. And I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of the open cooling.
It is exposed, right?
No, we
So-
don't. No, it's exposed directly to the
So,
gap. The
oh,
NSV4 has
okay.
the steel ring that protects it. So yeah.
Virgilio Navarro says he misses our videos. Well, Virgilio, so here's the deal. See that thing over there, that big white box?
It's fucked.
It's fucked. So again, Windows did an update and completely ruined my hard drive. So I got my hard drive literally at Intel, the headquarters of Intel. I know a guy out there, and so he is now handling my hard drive for me. As soon as it's done being handled, he's a busy
But
guy.
guess what? It doesn't matter because we're gonna keep doing live
We will
shows.
put it
So,
back in the computer.
You know what? I
and
kind of
videos.
enjoy live shows more.
This is cool.
Nicholas
Because it's like a
says,
conversation. So
Yeah.
you
Nicholas
guys
says we're doing a
talk
smaller
to
night
us,
shift.
we'll talk to you.
That would be like the Z series if we were to make that.
So now, what do you mean by smaller nightshade? Do you mean like the 8-inch nightshade? Yes. Do you mean am I going to scale the
Smaller?
technology down? Yes.
Yes.
By the time I get to ZV7, which I mentioned earlier, I do plan to bring that technology to the Z series.
Shit, motherfucker.
But it's going to take me some time. I want to get it just right. I want to make sure you're getting the value for your money. I don't want it to be any more expensive than it has to be.
Oh my God, you drink all that.
Hey, you don't worry about me, motherfucker.
Oh no.
God is worried because I drank a bunch of bourbon. Don't worry, I ain't driving, motherfucker. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Your car is.
Oh,
weird.
Nicholas, 6.5 nightshades. So it's funny you say that. The new X component set, the design is actually kind of like the nightshade, except it's a component mid.
I say we do live episodes all the time now.
This guy was saying he's trying to afford
Because
X's.
we haven't run out of shit to talk about
Justin,
yet.
Justin Adam, Snurp, Justin Adam.
Alright,
Seriously.
Yard
hold on.
sell.
I need-
Somebody
I
yard
need-
sell.
I need-
Yard sell
Dad's
is-
buying
I need to address something real quick.
Sure.
A guy named Some Random, he says, how much of our product going to Australia is B stock? Because he was told not to purchase through the distributor to get our products. Well, here's the deal, Some Random. 0 of our product going to Australia, at least from us to our distributor, is B stock. Our distributors are not allowed to purchase B stock items. Our B stock only goes through carradiobargain.com.
Yeah.
So, if there's an issue with B stock going from us to our distributor, we will handle it in our own little way. So all that product is brand new with whatever warranty that they state in your country,
Oh.
and you should be good.
Son
You
of
should,
a bitch.
no B stock is leaving this building and going to Australia. I handle that personally, and I won't allow it. So you're good.
I blame the bourbon. I'm sorry. Cernovich.
Andrew Cox is actually our
What did you say?
distributor in
I
Australia.
don't
He
know what I
handles
tried
the
to
whole
say.
the whole country for us, and he's doing a fantastic job, by the way.
I want to go to Australia.
This guy said
Hell
Brian.
yeah.
This guy said Brian can you check your emails.
No, I don't.
Um,
Now here's the deal with my emails, folks. So I'll check a bunch of them in the morning when I first get here, but like when 10 o'clock
10
rolls
o'clock.
around,
You're not feisty.
shut up. When 10,
dude, we haven't,
when 10 o'clock
this
rolls
is
around,
nothing. We know that we're on camera.
shit hits the fan around 10 o'clock, and I seldom look at my emails. I'll go through like 1 or 2 the rest of the day. Unfortunately, But I get so busy with like tech calls, or I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah.
I'm known as like the negotiator in the office, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
negotiate.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Brian,
certain
just make
things.
sure if you guys have a simple question, just contact Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything like simple box information or like recon questions.
Oh, Brian, I didn't tell
Send-
them something special. I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I'm currently working with Drew Jones. Drew Jones is going to do
Oh,
box
yeah.
designs for all of our woofers
That's right.
for our website, for our stock
And he's
designs.
such a nice
He's a
guy.
holic.
Drew Jones is such a nice dude. I met him at CES, and he's a really nice guy. Yeah.
Donnie for president 2020. Well, it'll be a lot better than what we have now.
Oh, and by the way, somebody mentioned Derek. We invited Derek, and Derek has something going on.
Derek's
So
a busy man.
he's a very busy dude, and he just has stuff going on, so he couldn't be on the show.
Hey, Gina's watching us. Hey, Gina.
Hey, Gina.
Gina's one of my old friends.
Hell yeah. She did some.
Johnny
What was this thing? This. She sent me something
Oh,
about a
me.
dad joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Jake, and Dave are the masters of dad jokes in this
We love
building.
dad jokes, yeah.
Problem is,
It's a nightmare.
I love dad jokes. Problem
You
is,
can't escape it.
I can't. I'm not that fast.
It's terrible.
I'm
You
just
have to
not
be
that
like
witty.
this with a dad joke.
I'm not that witty. I'm just not.
It's okay, man. It's because you don't have any babies yet, so you don't have the dad.
I'm
persona.
a dad, and I don't. All my jokes are dirty, so I gotta be careful.
It's Gina from way
I have
back. Gina
nothing to
Stu.
say but wrong and hurtful stuff. So
Yeah. Guys, I drank a lot.
Oh, so hold on. So somebody asked about when the show was. It's August 17th.
Yes.
So someone says, how to order B-Stock? CarAudioBargain.com, sir.
Yes. So there's cardiobargain.com, and if you want to go even somewhat cheaper, you could go to, you can get refurbished items. You go to directronics.net for your subwoofers, or theamplab.net for
Well, I think he
amplifiers.
was specifically
Brian.
wanting to know about X's.
We got stock base up in here.
Hey! Well, he doesn't speak English, but Pablo speaks English. He knows what's up.
Mochila.
Hola, amiga.
Yeah. So anybody in Mexico,
nope.
check out Stockbase. He's in Guadalajara.
Bueno, Brian, yo hablo poquito español. Porque
Sí.
mi esposa es de
Sí,
México.
sí, yeah.
Speak a little.
Stock base. Mi esposa es de México ahora. En Acapulco.
And he is in Guadalajara.
Yo no sé
What
exactamente
is,
dónde está
what is all
Guadalajara.
the babies?
But he handles Guadalajara and the whole damn country for us.
What does all the babies mean? Kaylee Dean.
Oh, Kaylee just had a baby not long ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think you told me about that.
Yep.
It was probably like 5-6 months ago, I believe she had a baby. So congratulations, Kaylee, and your
Babies
Also,
are great.
what-
Relations is wonderful.
I believe they just got married not long ago. Some congratulations to that as well. I could be wrong. I'm always wrong about things like that.
That's funny.
I am chopped liver.
I like
I wonder if I can answer a question.
Philip Irish.
Jen says, is she chopped liver? No, Jen, you're always welcome on the show. Come on back, and you can sit in my captain's chair up there if you'd like.
I like Philip Irish. He's cool. He always asks me the horror movie questions.
By the way,
And I like those.
happy birthday,
questions.
Jen.
I wonder where Guadalajara is in relation to Acapulco.
Guadalajara is pretty south, so it's
Acapulco's all the way south.
not too. It's kind of like in the middle, but the southern part.
Well, I should go there.
It's hot.
It's hot in Acapulco,
It's
man.
hot in all of Mexico. It's hot
No,
here.
it's not. Mexico
It's
City's not
hot
hot.
here in North Carolina, so I can only imagine. what
Mexico
it's like in
City's not
Mexico.
that hot. I went there.
Dude, you were like, it was like 100 degrees in December over there.
Acapulco. It was 85 at the coolest in December. Yeah.
Kaylee
Yeah,
Dean and
fuck
Philip
that.
Irish are about to go at it. Like,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
They're in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know each other.
Everything crazy happens in Florida.
Yeah, we should have Corey Dean on the show. I got a funny thing to tell you guys about Corey Dean.
Yeah.
So I've dealt with Corey Dean for over 10 years, right? So I didn't know what Corey Dean looked like. So I just thought he was like an older guy. He's not.
Donnie, is that
And then I just assumed that he looked like the Jimmy Dean sausage guy in the so every time I saw Corey, I would think Jimmy Dean sausage.
That's like Bob Evans.
Yeah. I just thought Corey was like a 50-year-old dude that liked sausage, you know.
Oh shit! I remember when I
But it
told
turns
him
out he loves tacos and he's like 30.
fucking
Oh,
loves
no!
it. Oh, Corey's having a baby like right
no!
now, by the way.
No, sorry.
What? What's up, Donnie?
Joaquin.
Philip Irish brought up the cornfield thing. I don't want to tell that story. I don't want to
I gotta
talk
tell
about it.
Joaquin something. Joaquin, I don't know if you know this, but my wife is from Acapulco, Mexico, and yeah, so I go there for Christmas almost every year.
Tater tots and ice cream. Hey, Donnie, what's up?
I don't want to tell the story about the Sundown Show last year for me.
Hey, this is
It was
No,
bad.
he didn't say anything about the Sundown Show. He said the cornfield.
Oh.
You just said the Sundown Show.
We'll talk about that in about a month. How about that?
I don't want to.
Stock
Yeah,
base loves
We'll
Acapulco
talk
Beach.
about that in person sometime.
That was
Buy me a
bad.
beer, I'll tell you everything.
I was
Right,
really-
what's our
I'll tell you
distributor's name
everything.
from Stockbase?
The stock base.
What's his name?
Ramon Perez.
Ramon.
Yep, Ramon Perez.
Está bien, Ramon. También me gusta las playas de Acapulco. Está muy bonita.
How do I know this shit? I have too much information in my head. It's why I have a problem getting more information in my head.
Pero el problema, yo no puedo hablar español en el teléfono.
Sí.
He said he loves Acapulco Beach.
Yeah.
So what's-
Mi español es bueno, con persona de persona, pero en teléfono no sirve por nada.
Come to Louisiana or Texas. Well, we were just out in Alabama 2 weeks ago.
Alabama.
Jake and I went to
Alabama.
me, Jake, Derek, and Brandon went out to Alabama to Triple Fest. That was a pretty kick-ass show. We had a good
Yeah.
time. Good nightlife there
Horseman
too.
and milk for you, Donnie.
We had a lot of fun out there, and I would like to make more southern, like deep south shows. That would be cool. So if you guys can build up the shows out there to deep south, that'd be cool. Brandon and I were talking about going to a show in New Mexico.
Okay, New Mexico is pretty cool, man.
I haven't been out to the west coast or the southwest yet, so that'd be cool to go to that one. I forget what that show is called. I think the Munsons run that show.
Munsons are awesome.
Or have they have a part of that show?
I saw people on the internet don't even know who Nathan Munson is, and he's in there being smart and saying all the right shit, and people are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Nathan Munson's a goddamn legend.
He has been around the block for a long time in this industry, so if he says something, you better listen.
Nathan is like so well known. This is funny. When I was like 20 years
Did you
old,
see that?
My
Getting in
brother's
the car,
such a
yeah.
smartass.
kid, just a random dude getting in the car. I had heard of Nathan Munson, and then when I met him, I was like, whoa.
So I gotta say something real fast.
Yep.
It's actually important. So Justin Adam Cernovich, I think I said that right. So the thing with the yard sale is there's no warranty and no guarantee.
Yeah.
But it's still cheaper. Hold on though. It's still cheaper that if you buy it that way and then get a
Yeah.
recone, it's still cheaper. And actually, some of the stuff is refurbished in there. I know I built some of the 12s.
Yeah.
Not the crappy ones that you probably heard about in the last episode, but good ones that actually work. But I just wanted full disclosure on that.
Yeah, yard sell-ins don't come with
No warranty, no guarantee.
Sold as is.
Sold as is, but they have been tested, and a lot of times it's just like small ticks or cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
But just wanted to say that real fast. But yeah, I mean, if you have to get a recone, give us a call or shoot me an email, and we'll figure it out. Okay. I just wanted to let you know about that.
Julio says Texas heat ain't no joke. We actually went, or not we, Brandon and another Brandon that used to work here a few years back.
Slim.
Yeah, Slim.
Yeah.
Went to the Texas Heat Show and basically stated it was the hottest show, temperature-wise, they have ever been to, ever. And
Oh.
it was like miserable. So yeah.
Hey, Alex, we basically just do the exchange as opposed to rebuilding the subs. We do the exchange that I talked about earlier, where you can pay the exchange fee and shipping both ways, and we just send you a new woofer. It's a lot easier because we have our builders, as Thomas will attest to, are really tied up doing stock things and drop-ins and stuff. We're just constantly busy building that stuff. That we just do the exchange. So.
Yeah. So if we have it in stock, you will just get a brand new unit that is already built. Instead of trying to build
Oh, there we go.
off of your.
Philip Irish talking about a success story here from yard sale. I hear more success stories than like bad stuff they got. So it's not like, you order a ZV5 and you get a ham sandwich and a blow up doll or anything like that.
Dude, you
It's-
get blow up dolls?
I'm just saying that, like, there's no.
So you tell me I can put
warranty.
my pocket pussy away and get a blow up doll?
Oh my gosh, my mom's watching this.
So,
Shit. I'm sorry, Glenda. You're the most wonderful woman I've ever
so
met.
Kaylee Dean's all active in here. Kaylee, where's your old man? Is he watching? I just remembered his name too, Jesse Dean.
There you
So
go.
where's he
That's
at?
right.
Is he not watching us? Is he? Tell him to watch us too.
And congratulations on your marriage and your baby.
That's a cute baby.
Oh, Steven, no, not the Recone price. It's the Recone price plus $20 plus shipping both
Plus
ways.
tax.
Now
Now we have to charge tax on everything.
and tax, and as long as the magnet is not shifted.
So
But yes, you can do that. Yes.
So now, and that's something we can talk about. Now, if you call here and order a Recone kit or what have you, we now have to charge
Oh,
you
yeah.
tax, no matter
I
where
hate
you
it.
live,
I hate it.
unless your state does not charge tax. So since we are doing what's called a remote sale, we have to charge tax on top of that.
My
shipment.
accountant is going nuts, man.
yeah, we have to do
Yeah.
it. It's a big deal.
It's a
So
pain in
sorry.
the ass. We used to only have to charge tax for North Carolina residents. Now we have to charge tax for every state that charges tax. And every state and every county is different. And it's a pain in the dick. And not a lot of companies are doing it, and they're going to lose out.
Oh man, there's another success story. This dude ordered 27 woofers. And we're all good.
Billy Kessel's
It's
friend.
not crap. It's not crap.
Hey, is that Billy
I-
Kessel?
So
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
for a lot of
Hey,
some people-
Bill.
I feel like some people
Bill's my buddy from New Jersey.
people contact me and I give them the whole yard sale spiel, and it's like I'm just being transparent with you, just because I worked a long time in retail. I worked 12 years in retail, so I know what it's like to feel like you're getting.
Donnie worked at GameStop. He'll give you $10 for your ZV5.
I just want to be transparent. That's it. I just want to be transparent and explain what's going on with it. But no, it's not. It's not crap. I promise. My mom just said hello to Philip Irish.
Hey, there's Jesse Dean. He's joining us. Hey, Jesse Dean.
Hey, Jesse.
Brian,
Hello,
what are you
Glenda.
doing?
Don't you worry, I got something cool happening right now.
No.
Boom. Because I was tired of my. I
Hey,
couldn't see
Byron
it.
wants to swap something at the Sundown show. Could you make that happen, Brian and Donnie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the deal about the Sundown Show.
This is the
If
stupidest.
you have a product you would like to send in your
That's not gonna work, Brian.
Shut up.
Right.
Look at that. I got it. I fixed it.
Full excursion. It fails.
Hey, there we go.
So you might get something that's great up to like 90% of full excursion even. It's like, it could be a smoking deal, yeah. So
We're losing viewers.
No
Hey,
shit.
Brian, take off your shirt.
Oh hell.
We're losing viewers because it disconnected for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh. They'll come back.
Don't you worry, folks. We know what's going on.
Wow, yeah.
Not really. I am really hot.
What up, Jeremy?
And here's the deal. I don't like clothing
Oh.
already, so I might start stripping my clothes down, folks.
It's really hot.
Hey,
It's so hot.
Hit up Brian's Patreon for Brian After Dark.
Yeah, Sunday After Dark Patreon.
Oh, Brian, you gotta kiss the camera. He said kiss the camera.
Oh, okay, I have to take. When I kiss, I
it's
take my
pretty
glasses
high up,
off.
actually.
When I kiss, I take my glasses off because I don't want.
Brian's gonna hurt himself.
I'm just gonna give you a little smooch on Facebook and a little smooch on YouTube. There we go.
So, Philip Irish just said, Donnie just saw us. It was pretty good, and the twist
Oh,
was
yeah,
not
yeah,
expected
yeah,
at all.
yeah. I don't think I liked us nearly as much as
I liked
Thomas
it more than
or,
Donnie
or
did.
most people. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Alex is having some sort of problem with the noise. Alex, send Brian or Donnie an email, and we can try to help you troubleshoot.
Damn it.
I'll be right back.
What kind of noise? I wonder. Like what specifically?
Oh, God.
If you are using, you know, what, I'm not gonna get into it.
You might be clipping the amplifier.
Yeah, and if it's a funny noise in general, check. You know, it could be your alternator whine, in which there's a couple different things you can do to combat that. You know, changing your ground is one of them. They also make noise isolators, shit like that. Somebody made a noise isolator. I forget what company it was. It was like a high-end noise isolator.
Navone.
That
Navone makes some really good noise
we
isolators.
need to get that for the BMW. See if that'll fix our problem.
Hey Brian, do you leave your socks on during the intercourse?
All right, I have a funny.
Yeah,
All right, so you guys want to talk about Brian and intercourse?
Just don't get too graphic, Brian.
Wait,
No,
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 you're
no.
not gonna talk about.
I'm not gonna get too dirty, but there's a point in time in which I enjoy keeping my shoes on
Except when I pee on them.
Because shoes give leverage,
I think what you're going for is traction.
traction, and leverage.
How
Because
leverage?
I'm not a very tall person. You know, sometimes you need to be taller for certain positions. Okay? So I will put my shoes on to handle business properly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Donnie, you have to try it.
Damn it.
That was a question I'm going to answer. I'm a very transparent motherfucker. I'm sorry.
So when I peed in your shoes at Slam,
Yeah.
that
I had to buy Brian shoes, people.
that messed up your
Did we talk about that ever on an actual
Yeah, we
podcast?
did. We talked about it. We told the
Donnie-
whole story.
Donnie peed in my shoes on well,
Donnie peed in his shoes.
We already told
Yeah.
that story.
Jesse
Donnie-
Dean says socks only is dangerous. Yeah, I believe that.
I'm not much for socks as
I
you.
feel like socks only is a weird, like that's something like a weird, like Ted Bundy would probably do. The
Dude, I
socks.
take my socks off as soon as I get home. I'm actually wearing
Yeah.
flip flops right now and my feet are hot.
I don't like clothing, period.
I got
So-
Converses on, so I basically have socks. I mean, it's basically.
Yeah, just wearing
same
socks
thing.
is like wearing two
Travis,
pairs.
your brother says he didn't need this information. Travis, you gotta try it with your shoes on, man. Nothing but your shoes. I'm telling you. You gotta try it. Hey,
What did I miss?
oh, we were talking about relations. We're talking about.
Oh my god.
Brian likes to drive his big old truck with his high heels on.
There's like, you know, mothers watching this.
You know what?
Yes.
My mom can be watching, but you know what? I'm 32 years old, and if I want to talk about relations, I'm going to talk about relations.
Relation is beautiful,
If she
Sherman.
doesn't want to listen,
Brian's especially gonna talk about relations after he drinks that much damn bourbon.
I am a man.
Brian is a very sexual.
He's
being.
like a panther prowling in the jungle, just pouncing on women.
Sure.
I've seen it.
Yeah. I don't think we can.
So
What is this? Left hand
That
or
was
right?
Huh? What happened?
But not Kendrell.
What? What'd I do?
The-
Kendrell's the man. He just.
Thomas, left hand or right, man? Which one do you
Oh.
use?
Oh, to handle.
Oh, you have to start with your left and finish with your right.
I'm right-handed.
I have a funny story about that, which I did not talk over the podcast about.
I don't know.
And you know what? Fuck it.
And my mother-in-law is watching. Probably my grandma, maybe even
And
my
they're
mom,
all
my
laughing and they're
brother,
having a good time, and it doesn't matter.
and they're
because
all ashamed.
we're all adults here, Thomas.
Damn it, Kaylee Dean, you gotta turn it down a notch.
I always get to see her. She must be on Facebook.
She was on YouTube.
So anyway,
I'm not even gonna repeat what she said about
So
Philip
here-
Irish.
here's the go, folks. Here's the go. Here's the deal, folks. Start with your left and finish with your right. That's all I'm saying.
Hi, Mom. I don't know if you're watching. You probably are.
Oh no, it says we have a
Cool living I'm making, right?
I'll let you slide, Kaylee, because of the tattoo. It's okay.
It is kind of a cool living. It is like Thomas. You get paid to build speakers and do this.
I stack mud. I don't even build speakers.
The reason why I start with my left and finish with my right is because at one point, I
Patrick Crowley says shoes require me to wear my leg. Patrick, you're awesome.
Hi, Shannon
I
Patrick.
didn't know you. All right,
Son of a
I need a
bitch.
minute. All right, that was funny.
That was hilarious. Patrick does not have
I gotta absorb this
Listen,
information.
his left leg.
Are you on YouTube?
Wait, is that the guy that was?
I think
who was
my
just here? Yeah, is that the guy that was here? Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
By the way, Patrick from Kansas City Car Stereo has 4 X8s in his
Brutal.
Mustang.
Brutal.
And I've never heard 4 X8s sound that kick-ass on a musical build in a long time, if not ever.
Patrick's
Oh,
old
thank
lady
God.
says we can't visit anymore. Amanda, it's okay. It's okay. We understand. Patrick's cool. We like
My
him.
mother-in-law tuned out there for a bit. She didn't need to hear anything before this.
Oh, I love it when family's involved. It's amazing.
No, it's not.
So here's the funny thing. I live in the South, and most of my family is up in like Pennsylvania, New Jersey. So even if I say something dirty, by the next time I see them, they won't remember.
They'll be mad at some other shit.
Yeah.
They, just drink, they all drink coffee 24/7.
Hell,
They don't
most
care.
of my family doesn't even realize I'm separated from my wife right now.
Really?
Woohoo!
It'd be funny if Paige was watching.
Hey, good for Paige if she's watching. Have a nice day. Paige. No, she ain't watching. You think she's gonna watch this?
She might.
No.
I don't know.
She watches shit. She don't give a fuck. My ex-wife don't give a fuck about what I'm doing right now.
Kaylee Dean, Call of Duty or Battlefield? Honestly, I'm too old for that kind of stuff. I actually don't play video games
Call
anymore.
of Duty.
These guys might like have an opinion, but I don't.
Call
I
of
pretty
Duty.
much like anything that From Software makes. I'm a big fan of Dark Souls and the new Sekiro.
Yes.
Those
Speak up.
weren't options.
You gotta
Shit
yell
like
at
that.
Thomas.
Hey, apparently Patrick made out with his cousin.
What?
Hey, you know what, Amanda? We're except for Brian, we're from West Virginia, so.
Yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Come here, Jay. that would
No.
get some viewers.
No,
Hey, if you're on YouTube and watching this, can you just say something? I want to make sure it's working.
So I see some people want me to get a demo. Look, I will get a demo of your vehicle. I might be really busy, but like, come get me like towards the end. I really do like to hear people's setups.
Actually, I got a cool
Yeah, I
story to
really,
tell.
I really like to hear people's setups. Sometimes I'm really busy. How do I say this like the best way? Sometimes I'm not super like good with people in person. Like I'm not, yeah. But I do like people. It's just like it's just not my thing.
I got a cool story to tell about you demoing a vehicle. Actually, I don't. Maybe I've already said it. I don't know. We need to keep track of the stories that we tell.
No, tell me.
Yeah.
But it was
fuck it.
really cool because we were all hanging out at Slam and we were behind Nick Wright's little trailer setup he had, and we were drinking, having a good time, and you maybe had a little too much.
I remember this.
Yeah. And we were just drinking, having a good time. And
Wasn't
then
that Roth that came up to me with the ZB4s?
no, we found somebody. Like we literally, there was like a little fenced area, and you're like, "Hey, that looks like sundown right there. Let's get in line." I was like, "Okay." And so we stood in line to get a demo from this guy, and you got in the seat, and the guy looked over. He's like, "Ah!" he's like, "What's up, man? I just want to get a demo." He's like, "Oh my god!" I can't remember who you are, but it was really funny. You were literally right behind Incriminator Audio.
Bryson wants to
So-
know when we get the SCVs back in stock. It's going to be in June, Bryson.
So Philip Irish has a question for me: Frozen or Brokeback Mountain?
Back Frozen.
I've actually not seen either.
Yes,
You haven't seen
Olaf.
Thomas, you didn't need to watch Brokeback Mountain. You were in it.
I haven't seen either movie. That's funny.
I've not seen
That's
either,
right, you
but
motherfuckers don't-
isn't the
your
plot
kids
the
too small.
Frozen like
You
the girl Elsa
Every
pretty
kid's
much
too
says
small.
fuck everybody and like
So you're Elsa. Thomas
makes
is
a
Elsa.
castle on her own? Well, that's yeah, that's
I gotta pee.
I can relate to
Me
that,
too.
you know. So Frozen.
What's up, motherfuckers? Well, I'm just gonna talk in a microphone as if I'm talking into a microphone when I'm not. So here's the deal, Mr. Thomas.
What
You-
brand of hair gel do I use? Hold on.
hair gel?
My hair gel.
I'll tell mine
It
too.
is. Hold on.
I'm gonna get some of this
Hold
before
on.
you drink it.
Well,
all.
I'll tell mine. You can finish yours. I wear the Schwarzkopf shit, which is it's called Got to Be Glued. I use the yellow bottle,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
the
that
same thing
shit.
I use.
and it is like a rock up there.
And down there too.
All right, here we go.
Hey!
Here we go. I'm gonna. This is my hair gel. Gentleman's Republic. Let me get the model number here.
That
for you.
sounds quite fascist.
It's called Gentleman's Republic Genuine Grooming. Actually bought a 64-ounce tub on Amazon
Oh wow, that's a big ass tub.
because I need a haircut and I just haven't felt like doing it.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow, Jake, we're going to get our haircuts. This motherfucker is actually going to get a haircut.
I'm getting a haircut.
After what, 5 or 6
I
months?
haven't gotten a haircut since about a
What
month or
time
so
is
before
it?
my baby was born. Yeah.
6 something.
Is it 6 something?
6:23.
Okay.
Any builds I'm looking forward to seeing. Jeff, that's a tough question, man. Everybody is doing such really cool shit. But I don't even know. Like everyone's stuff is so good. Like I've seen so many on Facebook, and I'm really bad with names. I would love to say names, but there was a guy he has a bunch of ZV5s. His build kind of reminds me of Kyle's. Is it Powell? Michael Powell?
I don't know.
Shit, I can't remember the dude's name, but
Fucker.
his build looks really awesome, and I want to hear it. And I'll remember his name as soon as we stop recording. I think it's Michael Powell.
Daniel Powell, they're not ZV5s, they're DC woofers.
No, Daniels was really awesome. There's another
Jacob and
guy.
I got to finally. Okay, so if you guys watched, I think it was like episode 13 or 14, we talked about Daniel Powell, which is from Jakar, Car
Yeah.
Audio.
That was
and
brutal.
and he uses DC woofers. But we finally got to sit
It was
in his
beautiful,
vehicle.
yeah.
It's that build. It's got all the wood grain everywhere. Holy
It
shit!
was loud. It was
That
loud.
thing was nuts. That was like the second. I only did like 2 or 3 demos that day.
No, Stephen, it's not Will Holt. Will Holt is one that I want to hear, but there's another guy.
Will's always changing. Every year, Will changes his shit.
Can anyone help me out? Who's the other guy that has the really sweet ass DB5 build? Shit. I'm really bad with names. I'm really sorry to whoever the guy is with the really cool build.
We have no activity going on YouTube. I want to make sure everybody on YouTube is still there. Again, if you got questions, feel free to ask because we're here. We're live.
Man, who's the guy? Shit.
I've only had like
It's a really
4 or
good
5
build.
demos like ever.
Well, here's the deal. When I go to shows, I don't do a lot of demos. Like a lot of times when people are demoing, they see who I am. Like, hey, you can cut in front of line. I'm like, no. I'm not gonna cut in front of line with all those people.
I love demos, but I need to remember to bring my earplugs. I can't handle that shit.
I don't wear earplugs. I love demos, but at the same time, when it's really hot outside, it's like, man.
I like to feel the bass, but I have to be able to hear so that I can make sure my woofers are good.
I want a demo.
No, yeah. Spencer got it. James Duncan. That's the guy.
There you
I
go.
want to hear James build. Is D4S a part of Sundown? Absolutely
Of
not.
course.
JP
Down for Sound owns Sundown. You didn't
J-
know?
JP independently started his company. What he did is honestly incredible, and I don't care what anyone says about JP. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
He's
He's a true
he's
fact.
very generous.
He likes to start shit on Facebook, but at the same time, that's how you get viewership.
He's just a gentleman, man. Like, what else can you say about JP, man?
He's a winner, man.
All right,
For real.
so we've got questions that have been sent to our YouTube page,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Facebook page. I'm sorry, and we will answer them since it's getting a little low. in
JP should be
viewership.
watching us, man. Where's JP at? Where's JP
Somebody
at?
tag that motherfucker. Tag
Tag him.
He's
JP.
probably working.
Send it in Facebook and tag JP.
He probably is working.
He's probably working, guys.
Hold on, I can always call JP.
Call
Hearing is overrated. You can't hear
him. I
us?
like hearing. He's
Ah.
talking about me getting
There's
deaf.
a little
Oh,
touch.
going deaf.
That's a
Yeah,
little-
I'm doing that too. I was a musician for
Alright.
most of my 20s, and
I'm going to call JP
yeah,
while we're
I can't
doing this
hear
live.
anything.
Actually, my hearing is actually quite good. And so I get into it with my boys sometimes, because my boys will be like, "Oh, Dad, I didn't hear you call my name from the other room." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I know exactly what you boys were talking about. I'll recite their conversation. They're like, "Well, I don't know why I couldn't hear you."
I'm gonna call JP real quick. We're gonna put it on speaker.
Dude, I heard JP's build, and he went into it a little bit for me. It hurt me. It did hurt me.
I can't show the phone number, obviously.
I'll tell you who else kicks my ass.
Hey, buddy.
JP!
JP!
So we're recording a show right now. We're actually live,
We're live.
and it's live on Facebook and YouTube. And we feel you should be watching this show. Oh, you with your parents in Mississippi?
Hey, JP, tell your mom and dad hi for me. It's Jake.
So I'm trying to spend some time with them.
Well, this is
We're
the wrong.
such jerks.
This was the wrong time to call you, and I apologize.
You can't make this up, man.
And you have a wonderful time with your parents. You tell them that everybody at Sundown sends their condolences for
Condolences?
for
Not
this
condolences.
for this phone call, and we love you very much.
Hey
Give us-
JP, how's your dad's truck coming along?
All right, I'll let them know. I appreciate the call.
See you, man. Take care.
One where I can join y'all too.
well, if all else fails, we'll see you in August. You'll be on the show.
For sure.
All right, buddy. Have a good time with your parents and your family, man. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Well,
That ain't go.
Well, fuck me
Like it was
sideways.
supposed to go.
here's the deal about JP. He is always on the go.
Well, he's a
Yeah.
family man. He's a family man. He
He
loves
is-
his parents. He spends time with them, and I really admire that.
He
about
is always on the go.
And that's why he ain't got time for your bullshit.
Nope. He said, "Fuck Brian
him.
today."
But you know what? Like, I don't ever feel like JP. I don't feel like he does not shit on the small guy. A lot of people think that he does. He's a busy man. If he has time, if he can make time for you, he absolutely will. That's my opinion.
I don't think I can. Never mind. I have some. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
He's a good guy. He
Yeah,
buys us
JP.
pizza at least twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's Because I handle a lot of the RMAs and stuff. Like,
Is
they,
anyone watching this? This is really
What are you doing, man?
I'm having a really hard time over here, guys.
he's a swell dude.
You know what?
He is. He is. He's a good man.
Fuck my mount.
I told you it wasn't gonna work.
It worked good enough to get my phone charged.
Yeah, but it's not working now.
I tell you one thing, I gotta take a piss.
Somebody needs to ask us some cool questions.
We're losing viewers.
Yeah, well here's the deal.
Battery.
Here's the cool thing about YouTube is that we're recording right now, but people will see it later. Here's the thing. This is not the time we want to do a live show.
God, you can't do that, man.
So again, there's a lot of folks that are working still,
Kaylee's got a question about betas.
and I can't do a live show at the right time.
Kaylee,
Sorry.
yes, my baby girl is teething. She's
It's a
chewing,
known matter.
she's like chewing on all sorts of stuff. Yeah, she's doing great. She's she's taking a vacation with her mother right now, seeing her other grandparents, and she's doing great. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's like everybody stopped watching on YouTube, and there's no questions. The
Maybe
only
it's
person,
broken or the audio is broken.
the only person on YouTube is your brother. He
Hi,
don't give a
Travis.
flop.
And I know you're not listening.
So
So,
somebody said their magnet is rusty. I mean,
That
that's really a complex question. Basically, you know, we try to get the best quality like finish that we possibly can. If there's any intrusion, you know, it's a ferrous metal. If there's any intrusion whatsoever between that finish and that steel, you're gonna get a little bit of rust in there. The best stuff ever, you know, can get rust on it. You know, like I wish there was something more that I could do. You know, and I've been to the places in person, and I'm like, look, whatever you guys got to do. If you need to dip it longer, do another layer, whatever you need to do it. You know, like, but ferrous metals can only be so resistant to corrosion. So if I can possibly come up with any solution, I'm working on it. You can probably polish it out, and what you could potentially do is maybe put like a protectant, like a WD-40 or something like that on the surface. Generally, we see that kind of thing in really humid environments, things like that.
All right, so Beast97 on YouTube states, or he asks a question: ZV5 versus U for higher notes. Well, that's going to be the U series, unless, like, if you're talking about stock versus stock, U series is the way to go. However, if you're really looking for higher notes and an insane amount of motor force, go with a ZV5, which you did state, and you can use an SPL cone, black spider, red spider, depending on how high of a frequency you're trying to go. So it's more or less based on your budget. You know, obviously you can buy a U series cheaper than a Z series. So if you're doing stock versus stock, go with the U series for higher notes.
Someone says, cats or dogs? I love dogs.
dogs, because cats are terrible. Useless animals, just like a horse.
Hey,
Yeah, dogs.
Honestly, I don't mind cats. I'm not a cat person, but cats usually like me.
I've had cats all my motherfucking life, motherfucker.
I feel
You
like
sent me a video of your cats. you were so pissed off at them.
Yeah, that's true.
Cats are terrible.
Cats have like
they don't show you any love. They don't care.
They have
They're
like
like a train. It's
they're
a
like-
very
they're
useless
kind of
thing.
like Thomas.
It
Hey, I
just
want to
takes
tell everybody
up
a secret.
everyone's
I want to tell
time.
everyone a secret about Thomas and cats.
It's not true.
Thomas's cat loves everybody except Thomas.
Oh, totally.
If we go to Thomas's house, his cat is like, cat is like right here. Cat's
Right
like, hey
here.
buddy, what's going on? I'm like, hey cat, what's going on? And then the cat immediately pisses on Thomas's guitar right after that.
It's true.
I love cats. I mean, I grew up with cats. You know
Thomas loves cats and never
the
loves
only
to
thing that
run.
sucks about a cat is like they have a litter box, and that litter box smells like shit.
Because there's shit in
That's
it,
My
because that's
sister
what's
has
in it.
2 cats. I really.
And like
Two
you
cats,
know,
that's a new rapper. Like two
cats are cool, but like they just smell. I don't know.
Favorite breed of
In
dog?
general-
anything mixed with a poodle.
Boxer. Boxer.
I want a French bulldog.
Jacob's
I want
dog's name is Steve.
Steve.
I want a French
Labradoodle.
bulldog. I want to name him Booger.
Thomas looks like the mad
Because they
cat.
snot all over the place, you know.
No, man, I like mixed dogs. My favorite dog in my whole entire life, I had a dog named Earl. We found him as a little tiny puppy, he couldn't even see yet. And we kept him outside. He would not come in the house. Everyone's like, take your dog inside. I agree. You know, like if your dog wants to come inside, it's cold, whatever. Bring him in. Earl was like, fuck that. Earl would not come in the house. Earl would rather die than come in the house. He lived for 19 years.
Yeah, that dog lived forever.
He did. And then when he was ready to go, we never found him. He just went off in the woods. He's like, this is my time, man.
You guys never found him?
Never found him.
Never found him.
He hid himself, and then we never found him.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 dogs. I have a German Shepherd and what's basically a dingo. My German
The
Shepherd
dingo ate my baby.
is awesome, and my mutt knows one trick, and that's his name. He just knows his name. He's not gonna listen to anything.
So what happens when
You
you
tell
say
him. He just acknowledges that you spoke to him. That's it. The shepherd, professionally trained because we didn't want any accidents or anything like that when we're out walking her. So
You
we
pee
didn't
him?
want her like barking at the neighbors' kids or anything like that. So yeah,
Yeah. Here's the problem, folks. I've had a lot to drink this evening. But you know what the cool thing is? I don't have to edit this video because this video is live. We ain't got no questions rolling in.
If you guys have anything for Brian, he will literally tell you the truth.
Yeah, I'm an extremely transparent and zero filtered motherfucker.
But he's
I will-
also really drunk.
I am also drunk and I will answer any question that you have.
Honestly,
animals
Anything.
take after their owners. I just read that.
I am sorry for being an asshole sometimes. But yeah.
Does anybody have Shudder? There's a new movie coming out today. Shudder.
What's that movie called, Donnie?
It's called The Ranger.
Does anybody care about the Ranger?
Probably not.
All right.
I guess, you know.
So we did have some questions, and I was going to get to this earlier
This is the,
on our Facebook.
this is
Messenger.
the after Dole version of the book.
No, let's see
After,
what
did
we
you
got
say
here.
after Dole?
Let's see.
We're asking any questions.
Well, I mean,
Dude,
there's-
my ass is
there's not a lot
turned
of
to
people that are
jello,
watching
man. Like
that
I can't
live.
feel it in this chair.
what toilet paper brand does everyone use? World's most important question.
The best
I
is Quilted
change.
Northern, but
Why I change all the time.
Toilet paper?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm digging the house brand from box.com. That's the roll I gave you the other day.
Yep.
this-
So
I think I
even though I hate Walmart, I still shop there because that's what I can afford. And I use Walmart brand, which is great value, heavy duty. I use the
One ply
heavy
or-
duty brand.
It's got to be 2-ply.
Yeah.
2-ply. What
Mine
are
should
you? A
probably
bunch of
like
animals?
5-ply.
You, Brian uses dead hair as toilet paper. You should. Yeah.
I use like the thickest toilet paper you can get because the
For me?
worst feeling in the world
I have one.
was you
so
go to
I don't
wipe
say
your
it.
ass and your finger goes through the
Another
toilet
one.
paper.
Brian's full of a lot of shit too.
I'm
so
full of
He
shit.
spends a lot of time on the
Yeah.
toilet. The Office hasn't smelled the.
Has
Right,
anybody seen The
7
Ranger
years.
yet? I haven't watched it yet. I've been at work.
Brian, Jesse Dean's got a question for you, man.
Yeah, Jesse, what's up, man?
It's on Facebook.
I'm not looking on Facebook.
He's got 2 ZV518s with 2 4Ks, 5400 amp.
Yeah.
If he went to a 4-inch coil sub and handle the power better, would he lose efficiency?
Efficiency,
Probably.
yes. You'll get more out of your Z's than you would the 4-inch coil driver, which if you're going sundown, it's going to be the Team Series. So you're better off sticking with your Z's.
A Team Ferrite 18, you won't lose efficiency, but that is an expensive big woofer. If you're willing to spend that kind of money, Jesse, especially where it's an 18, you're going to be really happy with that.
So
with the
again,
team.
we like to rate things a little lower than we like to conservatively rate things. So if you've got a, what does he say, 4K?
4K per.
If you get a 4K per, you're much better off with your Z series. You'll get a lot more out of them, probably even a higher number than you would the Team Series. Now,
Cosmic Evolution.
now for demos all day long, you can do Team Series. But if you're shooting for numbers, go with the Z. You'll get more out of it.
we can do an 8-layer in the ZV5, which does do quite a bit for.
Joaquin Phoenix over here said, "I don't watch stupid shit." Well, you're watching this.
Damn it, Thomas.
Should they should? Oh, not right. Second. Should.
Can I help you with your cosmic evolution exam tomorrow? No, but good luck.
Message him.
Jesse, tell you what.
Message him.
You hit up Brian. I'll see what I can do for you on the
Send
deal
him thing.
for the Team 18s, man.
It's Bruce.
Philip Irish, is your thumbnail frozen? Isn't that the snowman?
We got to do something for Jesse since this old lady has a sundown tattoo. Come
So
on.
Donnie wants everybody to tag EXO in this
Yeah,
video.
I think that'd be really cool. You know,
So
Bruce,
that's,
man.
that's Bruce Weatherington, something like that. He just wants to be tagged. He wants him to tag him.
No, I just want to watch this.
Well, I
Really cool.
have contacted Bruce
Okay.
about coming on this show, and I don't want to bother him.
Olaf.
And it would be awesome to have him on this show, but I don't want to overstay my welcome in his.
Is that a fucking train?
That's a train.
Train.
There's a train. Anyway,
It's gonna be there
Bruce.
for like an hour. It's gonna mess up the audio that already sucks. It's gonna make us all late getting home.
It's honking.
Sub 2 asks, what systems did we hear that got us into car audio? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience. Car audio has always been my life since the age of 13. I used to live in Philadelphia, and there was a pawn shop not too far from my apartment that I lived. And my friends and I, we would go to this pawn shop and just hang out. Well, they had a guy on Saturdays and Sundays, and his name was a Puerto Rican guy named Ricardo, and he used to install whatever the fuck somebody bought the previous week. So I would watch Ricardo install shit in people's cars. I was like, man, that's really awesome. I want to do that. And ever since then, that's how I got into car audio. So I heard many people's systems, and that's what kind of got me involved.
I got 2 questions, Brian.
Yeah.
Kendrell says, should we get NSV4s from ZV5s for extended demos? The thermal power handling of the NSV4 is higher than the ZV5, Kendrell. Yes. Second question. Jeff Allen, ever plan on expanding Sundown into a new building? Jeff, that's interesting you say that. I'm actually shopping for a building right now. I'm looking at a place like 4 or 5 miles down the street. We're at 100,000 square feet. This other place is
Isn't that
175,000.
supposed to be confidential?
No, it's not confidential.
I wasn't sure if that was just to be.
We're possibly getting a building that's so large we don't have enough shit to put it in.
We don't
And
have
we're already in a building
shit
that's
to
that
put in
big.
this building.
But the problem is,
It's the layout would be more efficient.
yeah, the building that we're in is an old furniture factory, and we kind of just made it work, but we might go into something a little bit bigger here shortly, like very shortly. I gotta take a piss.
So Jesse, if you were theoretically allowed to purchase the Team 18,
Right in his head.
I can
I
almost
hope you guys
guarantee.
heard
I can
that.
almost guarantee you're not going to lose
100%.
any peak SPL because that particular driver is so overkill. It's just so absurd. The motor force is it's damn near double the ZB5, so it makes up for all the mass and everything.
What do y'all have for setups in your vehicles? Nothing.
No, I got 6.5 coaxials.
I'm just saying I have nothing.
Actually,
I don't
so
care.
I answered the question earlier. I'm planning on some setups in 2 of my vehicles. Actually, my wife said she wants to set up in the family car too.
So Brian and I were talking about this, and I think we talked about it on an episode. I think I don't know if we brought it up in an episode or not, but we want to do like a Patreon thing where, because I don't, I'm probably the least knowledgeable of anybody here, but we were gonna do put stuff in my car, in my Pontiac, and do it as like a Patreon thing. So it's like you follow episodes of Donnie's build. So I thought about doing like, actually I want to get who's the guy, Ray Pereira? Who's the guy that does the dust caps?
yeah, that's right.
I doubt he's watching. I think we know. But Ray, I want a cool Halloween dust cap.
Joaquin was confused. He said we can't. But yes, you can buy a team sub, Joaquin. They are very expensive, but yes, you can buy one.
Well,
the team Ferrite I only sell in 18s.
I need a few of them.
My brother, ever
Team
thought
subs?
about how your bones are always
Not for me,
wet
but
inside of your
Dealer
body?
that needs
No.
for a CS vehicle. Or no, SEMA. What was
Not
the
until
question?
now. He was listening. Ever thought about how your bones are always wet inside of your body?
Not until now. Well, I've been playing a lot of
Yes.
Mortal Kombat.
Hey,
Playing a lot of
Philip,
Mortal
I don't know
Kombat.
if you're in on this joke, but did you realize that Dave Lieb sounds just like a famous comedian? He sounds like Norm Macdonald.
It sounds a lot like Norm Macdonald.
Hey, you guys, Germany. Oh, I got a good question. Brad Criswell. When running a Neo subwoofer, does Neo eventually kill the Gauss? In an improperly designed Neo sub, that would be at risk, Brad. In a properly designed Neo sub, like an
I
Nitro
wanted
version
you to
4,
hit your head again, dude.
In a-
I
in
never
a-
wanted
in a-
anything
the
more in my
cur-
life.
in a properly designed Neo sub, this is not a concern. The NSE4 is built with all this in mind. There's a huge amount of heat wicking around the Neos. So, Brad, that is not a concern with our Neos.
Woo! Brad just ordered a bunch of subs.
You guys ever have a
Brad Criswell-
piss
yeah,
that
Brad- Brad
it
did.
feels so good? It's
Brad got the
almost
12
like
Z5s,
sex.
right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, motherfuckers.
Is Brian's liver okay?
Yes.
Yes, he actually had it
It's
checked.
better than Thomas's.
All right, so when I was in the
That's a cool one.
so yes, for those
So
that know about my liver issues, I've had liver issues for the past 5 years. Here's the cool thing. I
He's
went
asking about you.
I went to the hospital about a month and a half ago for a different issue, and they checked my liver levels. My liver levels are of that of a normal person, so I am doing great liver wise. Thank you very
You're
much for
getting
asking.
different questions than I am.
And have you folks ever had a piss that felt so good it was almost as good as sex?
I got a good story actually about pissing.
So, Alex, that's Donnie. Alex, that's Donnie.
Hi, Alex.
Secondly, real quick, NSV4 coil temperature 225 on that particular coil should be okay. That particular coil under 300, you should be okay.
Yes, 7-2, I did crack the seal. Now I'll be pissing for the rest of the night. Hey, Terry Brox is on here.
Hey, where's Terry? What's he doing? Is he on
He
YouTube?
said, yeah, he says, my stomach explodes will blow your ZV5s.
Terry's awesome. Donnie, you remember the first time you met Terry?
I do. It was
He was telling
actually
you all the ridiculous stories.
It was like actually I got a cool story. So
Terry?
it was on the lanes. So I met Terry on the lanes at Slam. That's the first time I ever been on the lanes. I was like, man, this is cool. But one of the coolest stories about that, I was talking to Terry. Terry was awesome, great guy. He told me some cool stories, but I
Hey,
watched
Terry.
firsthand. Gary was there with a DB Revolution. Is
Yeah, that's his team.
So,
Yeah,
You
so
guys
he
are
was there with
talking
his
shit
team.
about Dave. Now
So-
he just tuned in.
Well, hold on. So anyway, he was Gary was there and some other people. They were having a contest. It was like first person to drink a water bottle out of an umbrella gets a prize or something like that on the lanes. And everybody was like, ooh, they had the umbrella like this. And I saw Gary Fletcher. He just took the water bottle and put the umbrella down and stood in it and chugged it. And he won.
So Brad said ZV5 coils. So Brad, the ZV5 uses the same coils as NS. I would prefer that you keep it under 300 for music. Technically, the failure rating on those coils is 500, but that's a failure rating. The farther you are from that 500, the better you are off on longevity.
See, Dave Lieb is like Jesus. If two or more people gather and just speak his name, he appears. So
Yeah.
that's what happened.
So Chevy Man says, when will the XV4 be released? Well, the XV3 has not. Well, I guess if you're talking 8-inch, then yes.
Yeah.
But
So for the
12
X8, I'm super happy with the V3. It's probably got a couple years in it. The XV2, 10, 12, 15, 18, I'm working on a V3 now, and my goal is next year. It's, again, as I mentioned earlier, with like the Z5 to 6, the X2 to 3 will be an evolution rather than a revolution. Be a slightly larger motor, a little bit more power, but it's not going to be like just ridiculous. Like, it's going to be an evolution.
One of my shirts.
So here's
Where
the
you
deal,
at?
folks. Don't forget to
Hey, Ray's
share
here too.
I don't
this.
have any pictures.
Don't
Ray-
forget
the
to
Desk
share
Guy
it.
guy?
Yeah.
Whether you're on YouTube.
Oh, hold
Hold
on.
on. Whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, I would love it if you shared these videos, this live
I want to buy
live
my
feed.
one. I'm totally
Try to get more
serious.
people involved, more activity, and even if you
Room
are
for
watching
activity.
this 2 days from now, share it. We gotta get some more viewership.
Ray, we got to talk.
Ray who, Piera?
Yeah. So Ray's on now.
He's
And
watching
I-
it.
so we wanted to do a
Hey, Ray.
Patreon.
He does all his
for-
anime desk caps. It's fucking
No, you got to do. So I saw
Ray
your.
does great work.
So Ray, I saw your Rob Zombie. You did a dust cap and a frame, which is great. Oh no, I don't think I can handle more of that. All right, thank
Hey,
you.
give me some more.
Anyway, I would love. So I'm a
I
huge
don't
John
want
Carpenter fan. For anybody that cares, I mean, I doubt there's a lot, but I'm a huge John Carpenter fan, and I would love to have a Halloween dust cap and a frame. That'd be really cool, man.
At some
So-
point, we're gonna do a build.
We talked about that in
Yeah.
the bathroom. I really want to do something,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna probably get it started soon.
We're gonna
but I-
do a so-called standard system in Donnie's car, and we're gonna video each step of that.
seriously though, let me know what
Ray
it
says we
costs.
got you, bro.
Like,
Ray sent me some My Hero Academia vinyls. He's the man.
Dude, Halloween, man. I'd really love a Halloween.
Dude, he can
dust cap.
fucking do it. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna
Halloween
shit
the
your pants.
movie, the John Carpenter movie. For those that are listening.
Dave is right. Nobody can be in a confined space with Jimmy. Jimmy's always in motion. He's always in motion. He's a big guy. But he's always moving. He can't stop.
Jimmy.
Also, can we share or I guess you shared it on Facebook.
I did.
No, the vector files.
Oh.
Yeah. So for those that need a vector file to do their own decal work, we will allow it. You just email me,
Hold on.
Brian at Sundown.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Ray
this.
says he's been wanting to do a Halloween themed one.
Can people see my phone?
No, look at the screen.
It looks terrible.
Look at the other one.
There's vector file
Look at
images.
the other one. Go to the other one. Go to the other tablet.
Collect them all. That's so cool.
So that's Derek. Derek, which is Sundown Unofficial on YouTube. He's gonna be doing some shirts. We're not sure exactly what he's gonna do. He had some questions earlier of our opinions on what he wants to do with some t-shirts.
Dave, I forgot what I said, man.
Using those pictures, but he's gonna do some kick-ass work.
Dave, what did I say? I forgot. That's the reason. Oh, about Jimmy moving too much. Yes, you're right, Dave. Yes.
Chevy Man wants to know if we got any new big subwoofers coming out this summer. No.
No, probably not new, no.
No, nothing new subwoofer wise. We're gonna have the SD and SA series. So we got SD4 coming out and an SA series version 2 coming out in like August and September.
Oh, I don't know
And
if I told you guys. I'm going to continue the SA Classic as a 10 and a 12.
You said that. Yeah, you
Okay.
mentioned that.
so yeah, watch out for the SD4 and the SA series version
Just a
2
10 and a 12. man.
coming out August and September.
The sales of 15 is like half of
And-
the 10.
They're gonna be something
Yeah,
else.
that's me. That's what I ordered.
So if you want a 15, you'll have to step with the V2. But the SA
So you guys
Classic
want to
will be
end
a
this
10.
now?
Not
We're not
really.
ending shit.
We're not even shit. I got drinks.
I've got a lot of beverages inside of me right now.
So keep going.
Probably gonna leave here soon.
How about we get a vote?
My balls are
Does
hot.
anybody want us to end right now?
Rah. Does anybody want to see Brian crash and burn? Because Brian doesn't give a fuck anymore. That's the cool
Brian's
thing.
crashing and burning.
So, a lot of you know that I've separated in January.
Oh, This just became like an episode.
Brian
of
was at a
Marty.
10, now he's at an
Marty
11.
Baldwin.
So, yeah.
Any of you single ladies out there?
No.
Oh, the single
They're looking-
ladies.
they're looking for
Oh,
a
the
bigger
single
man.
ladies. Oh, the single
Hey,
ladies.
You
Oh,
know
the
what?
single-
So here's the cool thing. If you guys watched back in January, we did the weight loss challenge.
Easy killer.
And I started at 266. I'm now 225. And I'm still trying to drop. So I'm trying to get my sexy back. Because I'm now single after 13 years.
Go, dude.
You know, hey, what have you?
You see the shit I put up with?
Hey, what have you? This is like
We're gonna be interesting, man.
it's like the rawest shit right now. That's
Oh.
what I'm saying. If people want to know what's going on in Brian's life, just ask Brian some random questions.
Be careful with your questions.
Hey Brian, what volume should I need the SA12 in? You know I'm a single man now.
Oh, shit. Now, we get a decent amount of you folks that watch this show, and they call us for general questions, and they always say, hey, thank you, you know, they appreciate us doing the show.
So no one's seen the Ranger.
No. No.
How
is
does
the
one become a
viewership
sundown
going
demo
up?
booth vehicle at Slam? Brad, this is what you do. I know your build's gonna be amazing. Talk to Derek and Brandon. We generally do look for guys like you to be in our booth. Yeah. Just hit us up. We could probably arrange that for you.
Yep.
you realize who is that? He's probably gonna ask me.
Brad,
if
Brad,
he-
he's getting the 12 Z
Oh,
man.
Chriswell. Oh, I already have his email. Yeah. I'm the guy that's been randomly attached to all those emails, Brad. I don't know what's going on.
Somebody said, and then the shavings question. What do you mean shavings? Spencer, what about shavings? I missed it.
Mr. Rockfish, he says, when will the X6.5 single 4-ohm be back in stock? Well, I did mention this earlier. I'll even tell you the brand, the name of the company, which is Woofers Etc. has purchased an exclusive amount of X6.5 version 2s, which are the only ones that come out as a single 4-ohm.
Yes.
They will have another 100 to 200.
500.
They'll have 500 of those bad boys in stock.
Oh, I got a good question too.
They will be the only company that has them in stock. So that Woofers Etc., which also sells through Amazon and eBay. So that's where you can go ahead and get your X6.5s. The version 3 will be out hopefully by 2020.
I'm starting over.
Okay.
I'm starting the whole thing over.
So it's going to be at least 2020 by
I was
the time
not happy,
the
guys.
version 3 comes out. And it's one of those woofers where it has to be perfect because the tolerances are that
So the
tight.
V2 is also so good. You know, I have to top it.
Yeah.
So Kendrill says, are we ever going to change the amp heatsinks? Kendrill, yes I am. The Salt amps will have a new heatsink design. Because, and again, I don't want to take this to negative turn or anything like that. Even when I go to a show from far away, I can't tell if it's my amp or somebody else's. Everyone's amp has the fins and the bar in the middle. So I'm like, man, I got to do something different. The Salt amps will have a different look to them. Yes.
So Chevy Man, I am answering your question through a message on Facebook or YouTube. So
Oh, Spencer says, ever seen issue with very fine shavings specs of a living on the SV4? Spencer, I have not seen that. If that's something you're seeing, I would love to see pictures of it so that we can address that. Yes.
Business 97 on YouTube asks about your business advice in general. So Jacob is a very different style of businessman because originally he did not know anything about business.
Yes.
So go ahead and talk about yourself in a business
Business
manner.
advice in general, guys. This is kind of a hard question for me. So I started Sundown.
The Ranger.
I started Sundown on a premise. I had a single premise.
My ass hurts.
Yeah, this chair sucks.
So I had a single premise. I thought that I could make better products than anybody else. So I didn't start Sundown with the premise of like, let's make a lot of money. I said, I'm gonna make better products and then money will flow from there. And as I've gone through business, I think that's the philosophy to have. JP started Down for Sound.
Sorry.
He started Down for Sound, and I feel like he's a similar guy to me. He's like, I can make a company that's better customer service than anybody else. So my advice to anyone starting a business, you need to have this directive. You need to know, why am I starting this business? If you don't think that you can do at least one thing better than anyone else, one thing, I'll tell you the exception, but if you don't think you can do something better than everybody else, you probably shouldn't do it. The exception that I'm gonna say is, if the only thing you think you can do better than anyone else is to sell cheaper, don't do it.
Yeah,
Because
you make any money.
there's always somebody who's willing to do it for less. They might only last a week, they might last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months. If you think the only thing you can bring to the table is cheaper,
So hot.
you're not gonna last. You need to know that you can do better in quality, service, something like that, than everybody else, and then you're safe. And then when you start your business, be careful. Don't get carried away with taking money for yourself. So when I started Sundown Audio, for example, when I first started the company, I lived with my parents, and I ran the business out of my parents' house. And I ran the business for 2 years before I even got a separate facility. And then even after that, it was another year before I even bought myself a house. A very small house, my first house, a very humble house. So be careful about spending too much money on yourself. So that I would say those are my best tips.
I love it when you talk about the tips there, Jacob.
Just the tip. George is here.
Just
George
the tip.
Sharpen's here.
Everybody watching
George
is
Sharton? George!
gonna get
George!
some real.
Oh
Hey, George.
man, I'm so happy.
Smoke shop, George,
So,
in Indiana.
George, we're gonna come to Indiana for Slamology, and we're getting steaks. We're getting steaks.
Yes,
George
sir.
is- he's such
So-
a humble human being.
I can't believe. So George doesn't do anything with cardio. He's my
But he knows
tobacconist
who
in
JP is.
Indiana.
He knows who
He does
JP
know who
is.
JP is. That's amazing. So George, I love you. You're like a father
Donnie's
to me,
gonna
man.
cry right now.
No, really, you're like a father
Donnie's
to me,
gonna
man.
cry.
Got a couple of questions.
Donnie, can
I-
you shed a tear for the
I
folks?
would, dude. George, I love you, George. Seriously, and I'm very excited that we're gonna get to come and spend some time with you.
Aldo Ramirez has a great question. Are salt amps going to be 12 volt friendly? Even more than the SCVs. My goal for the salt line is the number that you see is going to be 12.0 volts. So the Salt 4 should be 4K at 12.0. Salt 6, 6K at 12.0. The Salt 12 is so ridiculous, I might have to rename it. The factory told me that the board was done and they tested it. They said they got 20K at 14.4 and 16K at 12.8. So yes, the Salt amps at 12 volts are going to be even more ridiculous than SCVs.
I'm really excited about the line, but I'm not so excited about taking calls about it. Like, yeah, what 12 salt? What salts?
You should
You
turn
them
off.
salts.
Alright, so on YouTube, Useless Theory says, how come there's no shows or competitions in South Florida? Well, I'll be
I
honest
don't
with
know,
you.
honestly.
I don't know much about like particular South Florida in general. I do know Florida as a whole is a huge car audio community,
Dave had a good
and
suggestion.
unfortunately, maybe because the Everglades are kind of in the way. I don't know much about Florida. I just South Florida in general. I don't know, but I know Florida. There's a lot of car audio there. That's where I went to school for car audio to start my career, and that's where there's a couple of good schools out there. Competition wise, I have no idea. That's a question for Iasca and Mecca. Iasca is huge out in Florida, and if you want some more shows down in the southern part of
Thomas,
Florida,
Ray says to drink more.
you should contact Iasca.
Were we looking
So,
at
two
shows
things.
in Florida?
Joaquin, yes, I am saying SALT. S-A-L-T is the name of the new line. Sundown, audio, low voltage technology.
Get salty,
So,
bro.
even more than the SCVs, which stands for Sundown Cap Voltage, we have accentuated the ability to excel at 12 volts on the new salt line. Yes. Secondly, Dave suggested Rich Dad Poor Dad is a good book. Yes, I second that.
Ray says drink more.
I've drank
Why, Ray?
enough, but I'm still going.
Brian's drinking enough for all of us.
Yeah,
So-
Skater
so-
Life 239 says, what's the best cubic footage for a ZB518 in a sealed enclosure? Good question. We don't get a lot of sealed enclosure questions. So first off, 7 cubic foot at, I think it's 100 square inches of port area is where you need to be for a ported enclosure.
Yep.
However, 4 to 5 cubic foot is where you would want to be for a sealed enclosure.
That's what I was thinking, it's
Sealed enclosure is going to give you a broader bandwidth, but less of a peak, so you'll get more of a flat range. So if you're an SQ guy, sealed enclosure is the way to go. But again, 4 to 5 cubic foot, or 5, maybe 5, no, around 5 cubic foot is kind
Sealed?
of
what I was
yeah.
thinking.
Because that's so much
For a
movement.
car.
So
So
5 cubic foot.
I'm actually building sealed boxes for home theater for my ZV518s. I'm gonna do 7 cubes sealed. That's home theater. That's with a reasonable wattage.
Yeah.
So I have
It's
two
an open air
questions.
environment.
Brad asked me about salt multi-channels. I'm planning on salt 400 by 2, 300 by 4, and 500 by 4. Another one. What does SIE stand for? It stands for Sundown Audio Entry Level. So that's our entry level product. It's still extremely good for what we consider. And as I mentioned before, I'm looking at alternatives for something even more budget than that. And I've been working on it for a while. I've shown the guys here. So I've gotten samples, and there's just little things here and there. I'm like, is this good? Yes. Does it put out power? Yes. Will this be reliable for my customers for the next 2 to 5 to 10 years? No. So I'm taking this stuff, even the stuff even more entry level than SAEs, and I'm demanding certain things. Like there's things that I know after being doing this for 13 years. And the biggest failure mode of any amplifier in car audio, most people don't realize this, it's beyond low voltage, it's beyond clipping. Vibration damage.
Beyond clipping?
Beyond clipping. Vibration damage is the #1 killer. So I'm sampling these amps and I'm like, what would happen if this amp was, you shook it like hell? So that's what I'm thinking of. And so that's what kills amps mostly in car audio, because you're driving down the road, your bass is like shaking everything all to
So
hell.
clipping kills subwoofers, vibration kills amplifiers.
Yep.
Kendrill had a question. He said, will the salt amps price be close to the SCV amps? Yes,
Yes.
They won't be very much different. It's still going to be a Korean made amp, that
Yeah.
particular.
So let me give you an example. The Salt 4, which is the replacement of the SCV 4000, I expect it to only be about $50 more, and it should do a noticeable amount more power. The only one that you're going to see, like what I would consider a substantial difference, is the Salt 12 compared to the NS2. But at 12 volts, you're looking at 30 to 40% more power. So it's worth every penny, because the price difference is only going to be 10 to 12% more for like 30% more power.
Yep.
Derek, can't believe we're still going.
Derek,
Yeah,
Tyler?
right, Derek.
Live seems to be a lot more fun. It's more engaging.
Well, here's the
like
cool thing about live is that I don't have to do a schedule.
Jeremy's got something. For
All
He's got a
right,
big
who's
one for me.
watching the Ranger?
Jeremy's got a big one.
I'm really drunk right now.
Hey, wait. Jeremy's got a good one for me. So maybe a question that has been asked, but I was wondering, what's the difference between the high roll and the SPL? I'm doing a bill with 4 ZV5s, and I want to choose the high roll sound. What are the pros and cons? So, Jeremy, let me tell you when you would want the SPL surrounds. You would want the SPL surrounds if you're planning to peak above about 40 hertz. Okay.
So like birds.
It's not that they don't play low. It's just that the Mega V2 is going to be louder below 40, and the SPL surrounds will be louder above 40. And that's the general rule of thumb that I give people.
Can you get over here?
Steven, are the Salt amps white? No.
No, we
Because-
don't do white.
Well, too many companies have white amps, like
My butt hurts.
what's the name of that company? CT has white amps. B2 has white amps, and I really like B2. B2 is a great company. Jay is a friend of mine, and I don't want to.
Oh, Jay is great.
Yeah. Donnie met Jay.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to like feel like I'm taking something away from Jay's market by using a white amp.
Whenever I think of B2 audio, I think about Kaz Marchuk,
Oh yeah, Tommy.
Tommy K, and every time he comes to Slam, he always brings a whole cooler full of Three Floyd's beer, and I love
Dude,
Three Floyd's beer.
Rotate.
It's one of my favorites,
Just a
but I
little
can't
to
get
the
it
left.
here. So it's gonna be really cool when we go up to Slam, because we're going up to Slam, right? Jake's gonna let me go.
Slam
Jake's gonna let me go. You heard it. It's live. You heard it. Right? You
motherfuckers.
said yes. You said yes. I'm going to Slam.
So, Harry, why don't we sell amps with subs with GPS in them? Harry, you know, like that's a really cool thing. It would be really cool, but that would really add a lot to build cost. I mean,
The reason.
I don't know that. I mean, you're probably talking a cost payment of 5 to 10% just to do that, and I don't think that.
Oh,
I mean, I don't think the theft rate is high enough to justify that. Although that is a really cool idea.
I didn't know that
on top
beer.
of it.
So Aldo says, "What do you think about anti-vibration items?"
Jake, I'm gonna have to pay you for doing such a good
Yes,
job
go,
with
man.
this show.
Anti-vibration.
Yeah,
for
what do you think
amps.
about okay, Aldo? Anything that you can do, to isolate your amplifier from vibrations is worth every penny of it.
You know, like
Honestly.
buy
So,
a bunch.
am I for these things? Absolutely. If a company sells an effective anti-vibration product, I would be entirely for it.
Trojan, the Trojan company.
We're not talking about
Condoms?
condoms.
They make a really good anti-vibration facility.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Holy cow! This is real life.
Jeremy,
This is
I'm glad I can
real
help you.
life.
Jeremy, I'm glad I can help you with your decision for this round. So, if you're below 40, stick with the Mega V2.
It's so hot in here. It's
hot, man.
so fucking hot in here.
Like we're just
I think it'll
we're
stick
just
here.
taking it.
I'm roasting right now.
Come up with more questions, folks.
Ray, you said we should offer powder coating options. Ray,
We do.
that's a really cool idea.
We do.
But oh my god, like,
Alright.
like for example, offering a powder coat option in amplifier would
Yeah.
be so difficult.
All right, so we do offer a powder coating.
In
There's
woofers, yeah.
There's actually a powder coating company right down the road from us that we use. It's average $60 per woofer. Again, we don't sell direct, so you have to buy through your dealer, but we will offer
Hey,
a
Patrick's got a good
So,
question.
I got a question.
other colors other than black.
Patrick,
Ones.
will the salt be more powerful at 15.5? So
Yeah.
we are rating in the protect a little bit. 15.5. 15.5 is going to be really towards the peak of what the salt will even stay on at, because we're really trying to concentrate on what most customers have, which is like 12 to 14.4. So 15.5 is going to be pushing it, but yes, obviously it's going to scale up, and any voltage the amp will stay on at will be more power.
So I'm
Kendrell said you look really enthusiastic, Thomas.
so here's the deal. I'm
There was
too-
an ass in there, so yes.
I've drank too much to handle the whatever
Guys, I
the
gotta
fuck
use the
you
restroom
guys
real quick.
wanna say.
You keep these guys busy while I go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have a natural scowl.
You're a
I'm
dick.
aware. I'm aware of it. I'm sorry. I'm not like glowering at you. That's just how I look. Also, yes, I'm kind of
You're a dick.
an ass.
Well, it's whatever, man.
I don't mean to be. I just
Yeah, you do.
no. These guys know me better than everyone. Like these three in this room, and they could tell you right now.
Yeah,
You know, what do you know?
we've all been through our shit.
I promise I don't work for Shutter. I just really want to know what the Rangers.
So Beast97 asks, will 5 U12 subs sound better than 5 ZV5 subs at 0.8 ohms? And what's the difference? Now here's the deal. There's a huge difference between both scenarios. You've got U series and you got Z series. Two totally different sounding woofers. U series are going to give you a slightly broader bandwidth. They're going to give you a punchier sound. They're going to be a little faster, but they won't dig as deep. Now a Z series is going to be a bit of a lower, cleaner sound, more rumble. You cannot compare the two because they're two totally different. So which one's going to be louder? Well, that depends on what frequency you plan on playing. Now, musically speaking, a Z series will have a cleaner range throughout the bandwidth, but a U series will have a broader strength throughout the bandwidth. So that's
Did you say strength?
yeah,
There's only 9 people watching the
two
YouTube.
totally different situations.
Probably because the audio
Sucks.
In general, depends on what you're trying to do. If you want a broader
Not playing
bandwidth
it.
and maybe a stronger, punchier sound, go with the U.
You're on
Go
Facebook?
with the U.
Yeah.
If you want a if you want a deeper bass, more air moving sound, that's going to be the Z series.
So to expand on what Brian said, technically, at any frequency, the Z and X are more accurate to the original recording material. So what people are used to hearing with loudspeakers over the century-long,
I messed it up.
over the century-long history of electrodynamic
Speak up,
loudspeakers.
motherfucker.
So what people are accustomed to hearing is what I call the traditional sound. It's the sound where the suspension starts. Basically, anytime the suspension starts to strain, you get distortion. But the suspension creates what's called second-order harmonic distortion. That's that warm fuzzy sound. That's the same sound that a tube amp makes. That's why people love tube amps. Tom's a musician. He knows all about tube amps. So that suspension distortion mimics that sound. That sound is to your ears, even though it's distortion, is considered pleasing.
Yeah.
So what the suspension distortion, furthermore, generally it centers its variation and parameters over stroke around the FS, also the Q. So anytime you have a higher Q and a higher FS combined, you get more output in the higher frequencies, which your brain, accurately if you measured it even, would determine as punch. You're getting these more high frequencies, it's punching. So that's technically not accurate, but it sounds pleasing. If that's what you want, buy the U series. If that's what you want and you want a Z series, get the SPL surround. That's what it does.
Yeah.
So
Ramiro Banda asks, what battery do we recommend for the SCV 3000? Well, 3000 watts is kind of that gray area where you're going to need a secondary battery, and there's so many different companies we can recommend. Often we will recommend Excess Power, maybe
Access Power,
Limitless Lithium,
JY.
JY series, JY batteries. So there's so many different companies out there. I would call those companies, ask for recommendations as to what battery and which model to purchase.
Yeah.
But those are our 3 companies, which
Yeah.
is going to be JY, Excess Power, and Limitless.
Yeah, for most general consumers that are just looking at AGM, Excess is our go-to. almost any of our cars that has stereo in it has excess power.
I have excess power
Really
batteries.
good customer service there too.
I got excess power batteries in 3 of my vehicles, and I've never let me down.
Not that JY doesn't have excellent customer service.
Those are they do only lithium.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're looking at AGM, which is most cargo customers, that's going to be excess.
Skater Life 234 says, have we ever dynoed the SAZ 5K at 18 volts?
I don't know that we have ever dynoed it. No.
I don't know if we ever. So dynoing at such a high voltage is a little scary because the dyno is a true power.
I
going
think
through.
Derek's only dynoed like the NS2 and the NS1 at high voltage.
But even like so, using the dyno at high voltage is kind of scary because a lot of times it will not read. You know, like our
The NS2 goes over.
like our NS2, if we do the dyno at like 16 volts or plus, it will say like it can't read. So,
George wants to know about cigars.
all right,
What's the difference between a $7 cigar and a $15 cigar, Donnie?
nothing.
About $8. It's
But you're smoking a New World now. He's smoking a New World right now.
about $10.
Yeah, no, less than that, mostly. But I mean, it really depends on who made it.
Two people said $8. So, George, my opinion. So you get the New World. The New World is the holy grail of a cigar less than $10.
It's good.
It is because I like this
Yeah.
style. If you want anything better than a New World, if your taste buds are like mine, you have to buy a Padron.
Hey, what's that company?
Hold on, though. Hold on. I want to plug real fast. Southside Cigar and Tobacco. So if you're at Slim and you want to have a good cigar, and if you want to have a good cigar with us,
And you wanna meet
Jake,
us.
Donnie, Brian, we're gonna be at Southside Cigar and Tobacco.
Yes.
So if you're at the after party, you want to come hang out. That's where we're gonna be. We're gonna have steaks. We're gonna have steaks,
At
and you
the
can meet
cigar lounge?
George. Yeah,
So-
yeah. They have a whole patio set up in the back.
It's impossible. You can't keep this thing on your head.
So,
Steven-
Southside
Oh.
Cigar and Tobacco in Indianapolis, in Greenwood. That's where we're going to be.
They're gonna have steaks this year.
So,
Donnie?
We're going to
Steven
buy
says,
them.
why are people scared of high voltage? Steven, this is the reason that I got away from high voltage. When you make an amplifier that has to be stable from 12 volts to 19 volts, it's so much more difficult to make the circuitry stable, especially when the window expands, when customers have a real battery system in their car and the voltage drops really low. So then your window is expanding even further. So now your amp has to be stable from 10 volts to 19 volts. It's a huge window. As you decrease the
What?
window of voltage operation, it's much easier to create a stable product. So the SCV amplifiers failure rate is significantly lower than our SAZs because they're more capable of handling the lower voltage because their window,
something,
their window has been narrowed. Jeff Allen, where do you see Sundown 5 years from now? I see Sundown. Jeff, I'm sorry. Hold on just a minute. So,
Brian does this like once a day, sometimes 2, 3, or 4 times, but it never gets old. It just-
Jeff, where do I see Sundown 5 years from now?
There's too much.
So,
It's too much, Jacob.
What the hell are we doing?
I'm trying to talk to Jeff.
Jacob's fine.
Where do I see Sundown 5 years from now, Jeff?
Jeff
I
has
see this.
big balls. It's good.
Right here. Look at it. Look at us. Look at us.
I see us as
We'll just be fatter in 5 fucking years. We'll be doing the same stuff, but we'll be the size of planets, dude.
Except
You
for
won't
this
even.
guy.
Jeff, hang on. So, I see. I have several more critical developments.
Oh my God, there's things going on.
I see my American line expanding drastically into multi-channel, smaller and larger amplifiers, and so my goal is from my American series to kind of take some of the thunder from my Korean series and try to. I mean, honestly, I want to take the thunder from everyone's sales. I think that that's the wave of the future. The American-made products with new technology, smaller, lower distortion, higher efficiency. So where do I see Sundown 5 years from now? I see us doubling our sales from where we are now, and I see us doing better products than we've ever been capable of. Because my goal is anytime any profit that I make, I push at least 50 to 60% of all of my profit back into new R&D. I hope that answered your question, Jeff. Brian's on his way out.
Charlie said something about like Thomas. I need more rants. Sometimes I rant. I don't always want to be the rant guy. Rants just happen.
Alright,
When they
Thomas
do, they
hates
do.
everything.
So
I hate everything.
Dude, let me talk to Kendra for 1 second. Kendra said,
Wow.
"Did OJ do it?" Yes.
Yeah, he totally did.
So, Kendra, let me expand on that. When the
Let
whole
me
bit,
expand on that.
when the whole bit of
Yeah, give
Cosby,
him a microphone.
Kendra's
microphone.
Kendra, Kendra,
It's still 1,000 degrees.
Why are you holding the
because
microphone?
Brian wants me to hold it. So when the whole Bill Cosby thing was going on, I went to a cigar. I'm trying to answer Kendra's question.
White Bronco. Klansman.
Kendra, I like to go to cigar lounges, and I like to talk to all the people there. So I went to a cigar lounge right around the
Go on.
I'm trying to answer the question.
OJ totally did it.
So, hold on, Brian's broken. I'm gonna put this down.
Brian.
OJ totally
Let me tell you something, brother.
Brian, can I have a minute?
Brian, do your best The Rock impression.
I don't know The Rock.
Okay, do your best Ric Flair impression.
Fuck you!
Guys, this is real.
That's
this
not
is
what
the
he's
purest.
spitting off.
This is the purest.
This is pretty much what we're like all the time.
Oh shit! I just realized I haven't clocked out yet.
No, you have not.
I haven't
I
clocked
actually
out.
noticed that before. And I was clocking out like a good boy, and I was like, bro, you're clocked out.
All right,
I
so
must get some sort of special
Brian,
after
you
Jake's
good?
talking about some
Jake
technical
has
shit.
something to say.
No one
Again,
cares.
The host of the channel, fuck the host.
Kendra, did OJ do it? Yes. So
White Bronco.
this I feel this bleeds over into the Bill Cosby thing. Like you have
I
to
want
look
to
at
take my pants off. You better hurry up.
you have to look at the peer group. So I went to a cigar. I went to a cigar lounge, and there was a
With
there was
O.J. Simpson.
there was a bunch of
I saw
like
Kelsey Grammer.
there was a bunch of guys. and I
Donnie
was-
swears. Okay, so okay, I want all of you
No,
out there
shut up.
to just like put this on your.
Thomas, shut up. Let Jake finish the story.
Donnie
Let him.
swears he saw like Brendan Fraser flying a fucking helicopter in damn Vegas outside of
Let
Caesar's
Jake
Palace.
finish
He
the
ran
story.
into fucking Oprah Winfrey. Every time he tells a story, it gets
Whoa, Oprah
more and
was
more
there?
ridiculous. It's a stupid. It's the. We were standing right there, and none of this happened.
For the record, there is a real story. None of that happened, but there is a real story.
Shut up!
He
So-
saw Bono.
My
or
story.
I gotta stand up because my ass hurts.
All right, guys, listen.
Listen.
So Kendra, when the whole thing happened with Bill Cosby, I was like, I love Bill Cosby, and I was like, I don't know, man, I'm kind of torn. This doesn't sound like the kind of shit Bill Cosby would do. So I like to hear from like peer groups and all that. So I went to a cigar lounge, and there's a group of guys I always hang out with at Burners. Nutty,
Yeah.
Burners in
I've been to
Huntersville.
Burners, yeah.
There's a group of highly professional African American gentlemen. They're like 50, 60
You can
years
say
old.
black. It's okay.
Okay. Anyway, so they
Sounds
hang
cool.
out there.
Never been to Africa.
They hang out with these guys. I love these guys. They're really cool. And like they were talking about it,
Africa.
and I was like, guys, what do you think? They're like, and they started out, they're like, man, I just think there's like a lot of things going on politically and this and that, and like, Cosman's like that. Like, yeah, but fucking Cos did it. And I was like, I feel like, this is his peer group, and I'm like, if anybody was knowledgeable about the situation, and could say like, no, this is the reason why I didn't do it. So then after hearing, I feel like a relative peer group to Bill, they think that he did it, and they're like, yeah, he fucking did it. Sure enough, a couple weeks later, all right.
Brian just took off his pants.
Sure enough, a
The
couple weeks
pants
later.
are off. Brian's pants are off.
Yeah, no, I think
So and
Is that the underwear that the?
I doubted it because I grew up with Bill Cosby comedy, and I love Bill Cosby,
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't want to think they did it. But like these guys, I feel like these guys would know if he should be defensible. And they were like, no, man, he fucking did it.
Hey
And
Brian,
I said, guys, do you really think he did it?
Hey,
He
what's
goes,
up?
and they gave me a really good, they're like,
I
no,
know-
man, like a guy in
I
that
know the mic's
situation,
not
you know,
working,
like, he has all the
but
power.
why don't you tell everyone
I was
what
like, oh, man.
the
Here's
underwear
the thing, though.
sponsor
Here's
of
my rebuttal
Sundown
to
After
that. My
Dark?
rebuttal to that. So like you can't say that like because I'm aligned with a certain race that I feel that that person did or did not.
You're right.
You can't.
You're right.
Just because I'm
Hey.
white doesn't mean that I think.
Thomas.
I don't want
But
to.
make
these,
sure my
these
dick
guys,
doesn't
no,
pop
so,
out.
not just because they're peers, because
I'm not touching
these
your
are
dick.
guys I've hung out with numerous times, and I respect their opinions. You know, and I feel like
I
they
think
they
once
would be
you
they would
reach-
be they would be the first ones to know the information.
Once you reach us, oh man, I probably shouldn't say that on live.
It doesn't matter
But
because my pants
look,
are
what
off.
all I'm trying to say is I respected.
Brian's not wearing pants.
So
Brian's not wearing
the-
that.
what I'm trying to say is
Mike,
I-
Brian just fell. If this doesn't get
I
viewers-
respected their opinions, and
Do you see what we're doing for you people? Like all four of you paying attention to this.
Can everybody watch the Ranger?
We're destroying Brian's liver.
So anyway, these guys are
That's
guys.
balloons.
These guys I've come to know these guys. I came to
Yeah, but that
respect their
doesn't change
opinions.
the fact that.
He's face down in his chair right now crying.
You said that you guys are so
No.
drunk. George just messaged me, personal messaged me, and said you guys are so drunk. We're not drunk, George.
No,
We're
actually-
not-
Brian's drunk.
Brian's not
I'm
drunk. This is
hammered.
look. Listen,
No,
guys.
I'm
this
not
is
drunk.
this
no,
is
I'm
part
going
of
home after
this
right
is
after
just
this.
part of the show. This is all it has.
Go to my car and get
This
the
is a
scotch.
rhetorical performance.
For some
There's
reason,
no
my pants
reason.
are off.
There's absolutely no reason to even believe that we're drinking
Just- hold on,
alcohol.
hey.
This is.
No, I have to answer a real question. Joey, can a ZV418 with a large frame handle an MD8K? Joey, let me be real with you. I would never suggest you run the 8K to one of our servers. But for a SPL scenario, for like a 30-second music run, maybe a 1 minute music run, you could probably run your MD8K to that woofer for a music run.
My ass
Could you demo that same setup for hours? I would say no.
Oh
Joey.
shit!
Hold on. I'm gonna go out to both of your cars just 1 second. I want to see if
Is there people still watching this shit?
I hope not.
There's 20 people still watching.
There's only 9 people watching on YouTube.
So there's 29
That's pretty
people
rough.
still watching this.
And this is the best part.
I'm trying to keep it together because I'm the guy that's not drunk over
Here,
here.
I called
I'm not
George.
drunk either.
Oh, I'm fucking hammered, and I'm supposed to.
Guys,
host
I'm
this
talking to
shit.
George. Wait, hold on. No, George didn't pick up. Hey, George, this is Jake, Donnie's cousin. We're just
Whoa.
calling you to like fucking chill, bro. Because we saw you're watching us, man. Give us a call back.
I'm gonna.
Who's George?
He's
George
running a
is
cigar
the
store.
guy who runs the cigar place in
Oh,
Indiana.
okay.
Joey, thanks for the question, brother.
I really like that people are still watching this shit, even though there's 9 motherfuckers. On YouTube. By the way, all you folks on YouTube, can you go ahead and hit the share button? Share it in your Facebook, and
Don't share this with anyone.
your Facebook,
Why
your
would you do
Instagram.
this? We're
all that.
degenerates.
We're having a good time.
We're terrible.
As
Don't
I have
watch
stated,
this.
the computer back there is fucked, so we have to do a live show, and we're using tablets.
What are you doing with your life watching this right now?
No, these people are great. These are diehard customers, man.
Die hard. Brian
Thomas.
doesn't even have any pants on anymore.
Thomas, look at me. Look at me.
I can see you in the camera.
Turn
What's up?
around. People like this is the reason I do this. The reason that I go through the stress that I go through to run a company is people like the people watching the show right now.
Yes.
Because I want to give the people what they want. I want to give them not only do I give them what they want, I want to give them products they didn't even know they wanted yet. I want to give people
Thank
the
you, Jacob.
most objectively superior products.
Thank you, Jacob.
That's my goal.
Thank
Thomas,
you.
you're so sexy. You better watch out.
Thank you. Yeah, because one of us isn't wearing pants.
Holy shit.
So, guys that are watching, I appreciate you and your questions. Any questions you may have. I know sometimes I'm very busy and sometimes I can't answer all your questions.
That's why he sends you to me.
But I would, honestly, I would love to answer all your questions every single day. Honestly, running a business really stresses me out. I'm a very introverted person,
This
which you
sucks.
might not gather this on the show, but I'm a massive introvert. And I actually get physically exhausted when I have to talk to too many people.
I do.
Not that I don't appreciate it, I do, but it makes me tired because I like to put everything into my interaction. So once I've interacted with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people, I'm very tired because I just want to give those people everything, you know?
Thomas, I don't think people can see Jake talking because you're all up into his business.
I'm trying to make my hair look
Everybody can
as
hear me, it's so-
stupid as possible
So guys, again,
because I need a haircut.
I really appreciate all of you guys as customers, and I apologize if I haven't been able to give you all the attention that you deserve. It's just my personality is very introverted, and that's just me.
Kendrill states, "Why were you willing to help me with my breast cancer build when first you started?" So the pink bill.
So
why were we willing?
This is
to
something
help
about Kendrill. Okay.
Before anything, yeah.
Kendrill came to me.
fuck,
and he came to me as a guy. First of all, was passionate about cardio.
George pickup?
No. Kendrill was passionate about cardio. All right, and he impressed me with that. First of all.
Oh my
So
god!
that's-
Hold on, let me
No,
pause.
I'm talking about Kendrill.
Can I pause you for just a
No.
second? For all of you that are Sundown fans, talk to other Sundown fans and get us on this. We're having a party now. Now we got the scotch.
Yeah, you
We need to get some people in here.
I have
Let's
never
go!
been- I have never been this fucked up.
Let's go!
On a
Get
show.
Get some people. Get some people.
So
Come on.
Kendrill came to me, and I knew who he was, you know, because he started dealing with us when we were a young company, and I knew that's my husband. So I knew Kendrill was passionate about cardio. And when I heard Kendrill's story about his mom and things like that, and he just expressed to me like how passionate he was about his cause, the breast cancer awareness. And you know, we all have wives, mothers, you know, daughters, things like that could be affected.
Women.
And you know,
Females.
I mean, I was just very moved by what Kendra had to say. So that's why I support him, and that's why I will continue to support him.
Don't give him any more.
Hey, cheers to breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, Kendra is.
Ginger Ale, you're probably one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Easily our biggest
Yeah,
fan.
and we super appreciate
What's
you.
funny is you'll probably get a shirt before I get a shirt.
So Kendra is he's a real guy. He's honest. He's a real guy, and he was just real with me. He's like, hey man, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do, and this is why. And it really moved me, and I wanted to be a part of what Kendra was doing. You know. And anything that I can do to like forward that cause, like within reason, obviously you have to balance finances and emotions, but like I would really like to see him continue to further this cause.
If we go any further, Jake, I might become naked.
Bischoff, you turn the camera off and I'll be naked when you come back. Woo!
Woo!
Ric Flair. That's how you do a Ric Flair impersonation.
Oh, I'm not good at
So Kendra, I hope that answers your question. We really appreciate you, and I hope that you continue to be a customer.
Yes,
Forever.
sir.
And we really like. I honestly, I would love to have you on the show. I would love to sit down with you and just like talk about everything.
When can you be on?
Yeah.
Tell us a time and you can be on.
Yeah,
Anytime.
Kendra, come over to North Carolina. We'll get you on.
There's so
Uh,
few people that are so consistent.
We would even break
all
our.
the time as Kendra. He's just so consistent. Like he has this message. He wants
Yeah.
to get it out.
We would even break our Thursday habit of doing the show. We
Jamarvelous
do it any day
basically
you want.
just says thank you. So Jamarvelous, thank you for watching.
Jamarson, Lamarson,
we-
Lamar.
we-
There's 11 people watching on YouTube.
There's
Yeah.
23 on Facebook.
Yeah, YouTube's kind of slow. So those that are watching on YouTube, please share the fuck
this
out of
guy's
this video. I know we'll get more views later on, but right now, please share
For
it.
those of you watching The Ranger right now.
You guys going to
Guys, I gotta go home and watch anime after this. I gotta make.
Are we
time.
gonna make it to Slam Fest in Tampa? We've been to Slam Fest once. I don't remember when that is. So if you want, let me know more about Slam Fest and the
I
date.
have to like hang out at your
that
place.
we
for a
may
little bit.
make it down there. I've always wanted to go to Tampa. Actually, for those who are in the Tampa area,
I wanna taste
Pirate
that. I just wanna
Customs.
taste.
We'll start it.
Pirate Customs
I
in
mean,
Tampa
I've done
is
it.
one of our
I did
biggest
one of
dealers.
mine
They've been with us
last.
for a long time. Check those guys out. They do some really nice
So
stuff.
for those of you in Tampa,
Singleton.
I actually lived in
Scotch.
Orlando for a little while, and I'm actually a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. That's my
talking to
team.
myself. It's cool.
That's my. So for those of you that care, I
Where's
like.
Kendra in the comment section? I want to hear from her.
I gotta pee really bad again.
I want to hear.
I can't believe there's not more people. Brian just shed his pants.
Yeah. Well,
Brian is actually not wearing pants. This is
I'm
not
not
the
wearing
first
pants.
time this has happened.
First time on
But
Sundown
This
After
is
Dark.
the first time on Sundown After Dark that this
one
has happened.
time at Thomas's house, I got entirely too drunk.
So,
Did we tell this
and
story?
there were a lot of
Women.
women over.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
one time
one of
you
those
scared
nights
some
not-
women away at a party.
That was before that.
My wife has a lot of female friends. They were over, you know. God damn, get that thing away from my head,
Well,
please.
I feel like I've told,
And,
I feel like I've told this story.
Slightly.
And Brian basically got naked.
I don't
For
have
us.
a problem with getting naked when I'm drunk.
Nope. No,
No,
don't.
you don't.
No.
I've seen Brian naked more than I've
No.
seen myself naked. So
I tell you what, if we don't get to 20 viewers on YouTube, I think I'm gonna leave.
We're at 13 right now.
I want 20 viewers.
We've been doing this for quite a while, though.
20 viewers. Next 5 minutes, and I'm checking out.
Folks on YouTube,
I'm checking out anyway. I don't
go
care.
ahead and share the fuck out of this.
I got
20
shit to do.
viewers.
Be sure.
Donnie's job is resting on 20 viewers.
Be sure to share on like what's the Facebook channels? Like all the different groups on Facebook. Like I just want to bang or some bullshit like that.
If YouTube gets what's the number right now?
Fuck. I don't know.
If
The phone's
YouTube
in.
gets 30 viewers, Brian will take his shirt off.
Yeah, 30 viewers on YouTube, I'll take this
If
bitch
YouTube
off.
gets 50 viewers, I'll take my shirt off.
Whoa.
We'll take mine off. I would get 1,000 viewers.
So
There's probably questions, but I can't read right now.
Fuck, are we at almost 3 hours?
are we at almost 3 hours?
No.
My mom is watching my kids right now. She's gonna kill me.
So
Oh my god,
So
so
we need to get more viewers.
we
otherwise
have
it's gonna get
families
shut
and
down.
stuff. So
It's gonna get shut down. I can't share it. I want to bang or whatever.
Heck,
Share it. Someone, I can't
Kendra says I'm white girl wasted. I don't want to say I'm
I'm
white
not
girl
seeing the
wasted
YouTube count go up.
because
So.
I've had a lot of liquor, which is like this is more than what white girls drink.
Fuck, my phone's at 5%. Where's the charger?
Here you go. You can choose that charger right here. Here you go. Oh fuck! I want to fall again.
Someone share this. I want to bang.
Get it to.
Dude, give me that shit.
What am
I
I?
just want to
what?
bang.
So I'm
What
for
do I
you.
care?
For you three folks that are sitting here in front of me, I want to apologize for anybody who's ever had to sit in the chair that I'm sitting in
There we
right
go.
now.
Jerry's sat in that chair. Jerry's a large man.
Because this chair hurts my ass so bad. I'm sorry I spent $30 on a
Ray,
chair when I should've
don't
spent
worry.
$50.
Brian lives 0.5 miles from here.
I live in a garage not attached, but I live in a garage that Jake owns now because I am separated from my wife. I own an actual house in an acre of land. I let my wife and children live in that
Viewers
house.
went down. They're just
Everybody's leaving
I
us.
Everybody's
am
leaving.
separated from my wife. I now live in just.
Because it's getting like
House.
real. It's getting like the Ranger.
No, people don't give a fuck. They're
Yeah,
like
the
leaving
signals
their work and shit.
okay. So
My butt hurts.
I posted on. I just want to bang.
Lafroy. Adrian, give me some Lafroy, bro.
Lefroy is fucking awesome.
That's where it's at.
Tastes
Yeah.
like tires.
Keith
and
Sanders. Why isn't Keith Sanders on this?
Where's Keith Sanders? Where the fuck's
Keith is from Down for Sound. He's the guy who does all the boxes for downforsoundshop.com.
yeah,
Check those motherfuckers out.
Where are the viewers? 'Cause
everybody's
we,
leaving because this shit's getting weird.
yeah. It
Give
doesn't
me the
have to be-
questions.
Give me the questions.
Alright.
Bring me the planets.
Richard Bush. Dame las preguntas en español, por favor.
Kerry Wilson says X10 versus U10. Well, that, my friend, depends on what you're trying to do. If you're going,
This sucks.
if you're going for a musical build or a demo style build, go with the X series. If you're looking for more of a higher number or like something that's gonna peak you in the 40s and 50s, go to the U series.
Guys, you got friends, right? I think people have friends. Bass heads have friends, right? Dude, do you remember that guy at Slamology that was like, oh, I'm a total bass head, bro.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
go to Slamology. Remember I gave him my number and he never showed up? He was like
Yeah.
a crackhead dude.
Yeah.
Hope he's not watching.
He got better.
I think I might just stay at your place. That's cool.
Hey, Thomas, there's your wife.
Oh no.
Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. I'm still here. Sorry.
We're having fun though.
I guess we're having fun.
Thomas is an important part of this company.
People are.
Buccaneers.
Tell Donnie what you think of the Buccaneers in the comments. I don't have my phone looking
Fuck
at the
the
comments
Bucs.
anymore. Because I'm trying to
I
conserve
don't know
battery
anything about
life.
sports.
But you know, well, I don't think I can say that, can I?
I think this is
Oh,
running
shit.
scores.
Shit. Hold on.
Blippy, B-L-I-P-P-I.
No, we're still doing the show. Yep, we're actually live right now. This phone call is on
Still
Facebook.
doing
Tell
it.
Jack I said hi. I don't know why I'm leaning into the mic. It doesn't.
I haven't talked to Amanda. I feel like
It's
I've,
just
What are we
a
wrapping up
habit.
to?
I feel like I've talked to Amanda more since I've moved here.
Yep.
Or less than since I moved here than when I was away. I feel like most. It's been weird.
Yeah, mine too. I do hook it up.
Just come on over, dude. Just, I don't know. What?
Yep,
You
we're still here.
bring-
We're
bring
we're
steaks
still
and
live.
shit. I'll grill for you. I don't care.
Yep, we'll be there shortly.
Brian's probably throwing up.
Yeah, Brian's
This is
probably
like the
throwing up.
craziest like after dark experience, and I don't think anybody's on.
No, people are here.
I don't know if we have any true fans.
There's 26 people on.
Well, that was
It was like 11.
Amanda says, "Come over, Donnie."
yeah, whatever.
Come over then, Donnie. How's Jack?
This is what it's been reduced to.
My mom is babysitting for me right now.
This is basically just an overly complicated phone call.
Entonces dicen. Oh man, hold on. Hold on, I gotta read this in Spanish. Because I have a good sale on 20 lines that I have. I'm waiting for.
Brian tiptoeing in his underwear is the
Here's your
funniest.
Brian has no pants, by the way.
Aldo. Está bien.
Hold on. Here's me with no
El
pants.
salt está
Oh.
más bueno
You can't
y
see it
más
still.
poder. Entonces,
What's going on?
tú
Is this
necesitas
Spanish
comprar
right now?
uno.
Yeah.
This is too much for Brian right now.
Ay, ya no puede hablar en español
We're
ahora.
still gonna be going. There's gonna be like 2 people watching. It's really just gonna be us
Alright,
like talking with 2 people.
Let's go ahead and cut this shit off.
No.
If you guys don't mind.
No!
Brian's naked.
Just,
kidding me?
It's fine.
Anymore. I'm gonna be gone.
This has already gotten like
My
where the
ass
dragon
hurts
is
from
out.
sitting.
That's fine. You just took a dump.
But you know, it was
Thank you.
fun. I actually prefer these live episodes. So
Oh my god. I just downed that. Does anybody have any questions? Hey, you got your shit up?
What's the difference Sundown and Scar?
Best Buy sells Sundown.
nothing. Scar is the same thing for just less coin.
Heather,
No.
don't, no. What's?
Kendra wants to know if any of us have ever played basketball. The answer is probably no.
I play a mean game of horse
I
10
did.
years ago.
Okay,
I have a better chance of making a shot at half court
so
than next to the
in,
net.
in school, I wrestled, like Greco-Roman wrestling. I played baseball, soccer.
Greco.
I played football. I was a defensive player in football. Like I only tackled people because that's what I was good at. But basketball, I was never good at basketball ever.
See, look at that. You just made that shot. So
Let's talk about basketball now.
Basketball, I don't know shit about basketball.
is that an empty 12-pack of beer?
Holy
That
shit, we
is-
drank that whole
Drank
thing.
the whole thing of beer, and we still got scotch.
So my mom called me. She's babysitting my kids. She's watching the show.
Oh, well, she knows exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. Hi.
I gotta take the boys to school tomorrow, man.
Ugh, fuck.
Anyone good at shooting pool? No, but
No,
I'll do,
no, well,
I'll
I'm
do it
good.
anyway.
Whoa, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I love
Sam,
playing
really good
it.
at
I'm
pool.
terrible at it. I'm terrible
I
at it, but I
enjoy
can't
playing.
get enough of.
I'm actually
playing
really good at pool.
I enjoyed
I feel like
pool.
everybody's ignoring me. I'm actually really good at pool.
Shut
Yeah,
up, Donnie.
so Donnie will beat your ass.
I'm actually really good at pool. I played with my dad. My dad played in the Air Force.
I'm
Donnie's
really
really good
fucking
at
Space
drunk.
Force.
I'm so drunk right now, guys.
My dad used to play for
You
money.
can't
in
see
the
it because
Air
it's not on camera, but Brian's got his gut out. He's got his shirt rolled all the way up and his guts just hanging out. Because it really is
So
hot in here.
here's the problem.
So
I'm supposed to do my laundry today.
you're
You
not.
ain't doing nothing.
Hey, does anybody want to get me some food?
Ranger.
Somebody commented about the Ranger. Really? Did somebody do it? Did somebody do it? Thomas, tell me the truth. Somebody
my
comment about the
That
Ranger.
hurts.
They just said Ranger. That was it.
Oh man. Ryan's picking his ass.
Well, my butt,
Okay.
my butt hurts. So here's the
Balls
deal.
were hot.
Let's go ahead and close this off.
No, no.
We're gonna
No,
close
we're
it off.
gonna close it.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna
close
close it. Like what?
I
is
want
this,
to
like
thank
3
everybody
hours?
for watching. For those of you who watch on YouTube, I wish you would share through other social media. And same thing with Facebook, share through your social media. We're still trying to build our audience, and we thank you very much for watching. We try to answer as many questions as we can. Obviously, it's not possible, but we thank you very much.
It's not possible to answer as many questions as we can.
Yes. Now, if you're interested in Sundown After Dark T-shirts, which is
That's
not
not an after
which
dark.
is not the one that I'm wearing right now, you can go to Sundown After Dark Facebook and click Buy Now, and you can get the Sundown After Dark T-shirt through our Facebook page.
We still have scotch. We
Yeah.
still have scotch.
Anyway, I want to say thank you for everybody watching.
Thanks for hanging in there.
And hopefully
Thanks, guys.
next week we will finally have the computer set up and working again like normal. We'll have regularly scheduled Friday afternoon episodes. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I don't know how to stop this shit. All right, let's try this one. How do you stop this?
All right, I'm leaving. I'm
I'm gonna click the button.
Alright.
just.
X.